Welcome to Sportsnet USA.net. Corey, Mark, calling the game today here. Corey, we're up in East LA ELAC taking on Fullerton College Hornets. It was disastrous last week for the Hornets. Every mistake they could make, they made. Today they need to play clean football here on Sportsnet USA.net.
And they're playing a team in the Huskies who need to play the exact same way as Lamont White and Tanner Anderson are back deep. 0 is White, number 29 on the near side is Anderson.
Anderson takes it. He's going to turn at the 20. Steps up, gets across the 30, still not down, finally driven out of bounds at the 36-yard line. So it's one of those plays. Special teams needs to come up big for this Hornet team, and defense needs to play strong defense. Coming out of court, quarterback for ELAC, Dante Bell. At running back, I'm going to say it's Brandon. No, it's not. It's Tanner Anderson at running back. Dante Bell, a true athlete we've been told about. Bell goes quickly. Oh, should have been picked right there, Corey, as they tried to go to Victor Rodriguez, and they overthrew Rodriguez.
And Mark, you were right. Brandon Herron was in the backfield, so you were right for East LA, number 9 in black. That offensive line they're working behind is Isaiah Torres, Aaron Ponce, Daniel Navarez, Stanley Roybal, and Aaron Duarte up front for the Huskies.
Roan still in the backfield. Over here to the near side of the field is Kobe Davenport. Davenport goes across the middle. They tried to throw it to Davenport. Incomplete pass. Quick 2 passes. 2 miscommunications by ELAC. It's now 3rd down and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Fullerton up front. Chris Harvey, number 90 on the near side. Chef Boyd is 1 tackle. Next to him will be Damian Bergueno. And on the outside, Robio Zuniga. On the right side, backers are going to be Sean Malcolm, 34-44, is Ethan Charpentier, and Jeremy Naborn, number 28, are your backers.
White Rodriguez on the far side of the field. Davenport here at the near side of the field. Big 3rd down and 10. Hornets try to bring it up the middle. They do. They grab a hold of the big man, and Corey, I'd have to give you some credit because you said possibly 4 sacks today by that defensive line. They're sack number 1.
There you go, and they're going to need that as Boyd and Bergueno converge, half a sack each for them both. And Chef's now he's got 2.5 sacks on the season. Bergueno 1.5 sacks on the season.
Kavion Bills is going to be back deep for the Hornets at the 30-yard line. Special team looking to do something. Nice to get a nice little return, pick up maybe 10 on this, put themselves in good field position. Here comes pressure. High, short. Bills says, let's get away from it. It backpedals for the Hornets. It is down at the 46. Better than touching the ball. No fumble, no loss. They get a good field position to start.
25 yards on the kick, and like you said, they'll start at the 45-yard line. This is the way College of the Canyon started last week against Fullerton. Short fields each step of the way. Defense for the Huskies, Nicholas Romero, Tony Garcia, Larry Thomas up front wearing number 74. We'll get to those others in just a moment.
Josiah Jarrett comes out at quarterback. Number 1, number 2 got hurt last week, so Jarrett gets to start his first game here for your Hornets. 1st down and 10 at the 45. Run it straight up the middle. I think that was Elvis. I'm not sure. So Elvis Vakapuna got to run it. Gain of 2 on the play. So Vakapuna gets a little gain on the play.
Rest of the defense, Tremel Isaacs up front as well. Zach Camarena, defensive stalwart for them, along with Timmy Fleischhood, along with DeLon Story, Kalik Johnson, Roberto Ceballos, Deldrick Madison.
Logan Lester to the near side of the field. Vakapuna, again, not running north and south. And you talked about a big man like Vakapuna Corey. When he goes the outside, they're going to be able to catch him.
Yeah, and that was Tremel Isaacs chasing him down. 6'5", 230 out of Crestview High School out of Florida. It's nice to see Fullerton trying to establish a run game.
To the near side of the field, Bevenu. Far side of the field, Xavier Hicks. Big 3rd down and 8. Josiah Jarrett at quarterback. Big 3rd down play to start this game. Jarrett comes up. Look, has somebody overshoots him. Double clutch. And it's a quick 3 and out for the Hornets.
You don't mind that play, even if it's a 3 and out. He didn't look that rattled on his first pass attempt. He was decisive and threw the ball. He only had 2 options. Defense by ELAC is what they needed, a 3 and out.
Johnson is back deep for the punt. Up in front of him is Story. So Johnson the deep back for ELAC. Got to get better punts than last week. This should be end over end in favor of the Hornets. They need to let it roll because they didn't get that last week as it goes all the way down to the 6. Corey Neyland, a good break for your Fullerton College Hornets.
And that's going to go 46 yards on the kick from Charles Villarreal.
So far, the beginning of last game started off well for the Hornets. Then it crumbled. The beginning of this game has started off well for the Hornets. Let's see if a crumbling time is there.
Antoine Johnson, one safety, number 16. Number 14 is going to be Gavin Stewart, gets to start tonight. Far corner 7 is Bryant Meredith. Near side corner is Mo Gamage.
Davenport, again, comes to the near side of the field. Dante Bell's got a big arm. Bell throws it out, short arms it in the flat. And Corey, he's got a strong arm, but we've heard he has inconsistency throwing the football.
Yeah, rush that just a little bit. Again, both these teams are very young, too. A lot of freshmen, and turnover rate in community college is high anyway, but more so than normal.
Girion still in at running back for ELAC. On the far side of the field now is Demille. It's Potts. Corey, I can't see his first name from where I'm standing, so I'm just going to call him Potts. You can let me know his first name in a second. 2nd down and 10. Hornets shift their defense. High snap. They've got an opportunity to get in. It goes out. It should be a safety. They're calling it an incomplete pass. The pass doesn't get to the line of scrimmage.
But they're going to say Kobe Davenport was in the area.
Oh, boy, that again. We've talked about officiating. I'm sorry, Corey. I think that is a bad call, to say the least.
And, I'm going to give it to the officials. I think since Kobe Davenport was in the area, I'm going to say incomplete pass and good work by Dante Bell.
So 3rd down and 10. Bell got a high snap. That's why he had to rush. Here come the Hornets on a drive. Straight there. And the defensive line with their linebackers get the running back, Girion, for no gain. It's going to bring up a big 4th down and 10 for ELAC. The Huskies, they get 2 quick outs, and the Hornets get better field position.
And you go back to that play. Again, good work by Davenport being in the area. Good work by Bell being alert enough to see his receiver and being able to throw the ball out there and not get that safety.
Kavion Bills standing at the ELAC 40. This is what College of the Canyons got against the Hornets last week. They're coming with pressure. Bills signals fair catch, takes it right at the 39-yard line. So we had a little after whistle. No flag on the play. It'll be 1st down and 10 for your Hornets on the 39 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ed Ford, we want to thank him for getting us up today with our own feed, along with Ryan Osborne. So we have a couple techie guys that know what they're doing. Corey, you can get things set here as we get ready to go. Once again, Jarrett comes out. See if the Hornets run the football. Elvis back in the backfield. Jarrett looks things over. He can run also, Corey. ELAC. Looks like they're coming. Straight down the middle. Nice block by Elvis up the middle.
So Justin Honore did a nice job getting that. We haven't seen him since Santa Barbara. Nice positive gain for the Hornets. And I mentioned Santa Barbara. We talked to Justin's dad, or excuse me, not Justin's, Josiah's dad.
Josiah's dad. Yeah.
Before that game.
Gain of 5 on the play. Second down across the 35. Second down and 5 for the Hornets. Should be offside. It looked like it was offside. No flag thrown. Great jump by the defensive ELAC. You can't time that one any better.
Well timed by Zach Camarena. He's going to be another all-conference, or have another all-conference season as he did last year. He's the heart and soul of that defense for the Huskies, along with Timmy Fleischhood. He had an interception, pick 6 last week, week number 1 against Grossmont.
Dustin Duffy comes into the game as a receiver. Logan Lester goes to one side. Duffy goes the other one. Vakapuna stays in the backfield. Third down and 10 at the 40 for the Hornets. They look, throw it over the flat, and that's one of those passes that gets telegraphed early. If the defensive back makes the right jump, it's a pick for a touchdown.
Josiah is lucky it wasn't on target because Fleischhood, who already has one pick 6 against Grossmont on that exact same type of play, didn't get it there, and he would have been gone for another.
So, again, both these teams starting off slowly here in the first quarter with 10-12 to go. Nobody seems to have a rhythm in this game. First team that gets one should feel like they have the upper hand. High floater, end over end, signaled for a fair catch, middle of the field. Hornets let it bounce, and they're going to down it at around the 14-yard line. With 10:02 to go, we're sitting at 0. It's the Huskies 0, the Hornets 0, here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
And Mark, you look, that was Isaac Mejia, the long snapper, who downs it. And Mark, both these teams, little struggles on their first 2 possessions. Now both trying to go to the outside. Let's see if they get their quarterbacks to go through that seam and work the middle of the field to get that rhythm.
Tanner Anderson now in at running back. So Anderson in, Dante Bell, the big quarterback, very athletic, got an arm on him. We'll see if they go with the running plays for a while. They hand it off. Bell keeps it himself, slides quickly, short of the 50, and we were told that he can run the football well. Nice little gain of 3 on the play, second down and 7, right at the 18.
Came into the game with 365 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Anderson stays back there at the running back. White at the far side of the field. Watch him. He's a great receiver. Over here to the near side of the field is going to be Story. So White out to the far side, Story to the near side. Bell looks it over. Hornets are coming. Bell's got to find a receiver. Going deep. There is pushing. We get a holding call on the Hornets.
That's against Mo Gamage, working against Tanner Davenport. Kobe Davenport. Davenport got the step. Mo got the hold.
So it should be against the Hornets where they threw the flag. They're bringing it back. They're picking. Oh, they are going to do it. Okay, I thought they were bringing it up.
So 5-yard penalty, automatic for, or 10-yard?
Yeah, that's more than 5 yards.
10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yep. So 1st and 10 for ELAC, the first one of the game. Get it any way you can. Bell looks over the sideline. Looks at Tanner Anderson in the backfield. Coming with 4. Anderson goes in motion. They throw it the flat. Anderson gets collided with. Is that a nice way to put it?
That is a very nice way to put it. That's a car insurance tackle right there. Somebody going to need to pay the deductible, and that was Bryant Meredith with an aggressive play coming in from the corner.
Loss of 7 on the play. 2nd down and 17 with 8:51 to go here in the first quarter.
The Calebs are up front on defense for the Hornets. That's Hadley and Smith on the right side. Paul Boyce, 9-1. Des Palomalu near side in number 50.
Torres, the near side receiver. White, the far side receiver. Bell at quarterback. 2nd down and 7. Once again, hands it off, and Corey, there was no place for Tanner Anderson to go. Another loss. It's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
So Fullerton's push up front is the way they wanted to start on the defensive side of the ball. You talked to the coaches all week, and you said our defense has to come up with the big play and ideally score a touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. Big 3rd down. We'll see what the Hornets do. They only bring 4. Can they get some? Here comes the big man. He's got that side of the field wide. Somebody's got to hit him first. He goes out of bounds short of a 1st down. Good pursuit by the defense.
Yeah, Sean Malcolm saves a 1st down because he hustled over to that right side of the field, and it's going to force a punt. What made him run is Jeremy DeBourne read the back coming on that out of the backfield on a little square out. He jumps the route. Bell had nowhere to go.
So it's going to be Justin Honore back deep. Is it not? It's still, it is still Bills? Okay. Bills is still back. Thank you, Corey Neyland. Kavion Bills at the 30. It's been a checkers game. Nice one. Bills will run over. He says, let it go. Get away, get away, get away. And this time now, the Huskies have flipped the field, finally letting the Hornets start deep in their own territory.
32 yards on the kick.
1st down and 10 for your Hornets here on SportsNetUSA.net. Corey, the old guy. Ed Ford down the way. As we'll end up getting to the near side of the field. Xavier Hicks to the near side of the field. Speed runner when you think about him as an end. Josiah Jarrett looking for that first completion of the day. 1st down and 10. Josiah keeps it himself. Gets a nice little gain of 3 on the play, and he can run the football.
And you don't mind it. You get that first hit. Now you really feel like you're involved in the game. Running behind Corey Rivera-Zamora, Michael Kesey, Preston Jeffs, Riley Miller, and Dylan Spencer up front for the Hornets.
Lester, Hicks, and Jones to the near side of the field. Elvis in the backfield. Elvis Bakapuna. 2nd down and 7 at the 34-yard line for the Hornets. Across the middle, behind the receiver who was wide open, Xavier Hicks. And Corey, there's just no timing right now on the field for this Hornet team.
And the more and more you look at it for both squads, you're going to maybe need a quarter to get that rhythm. That's what you're hoping here for both sides. East LA coming into the same situation as Fullerton. Last week they lose to Allen Hancock, and they turned the ball over, had some special teams issues, and just didn't execute either.
Big 3rd down and 7 for the Hornets. Josiah looking to find that one receiver. Bakapuna and the running back. Here they come. He's got time. He goes the outside. He's got time. Drugged down from behind at the 35. Wasn't sure if he wanted to run or throw and got drugged down.
I think he looks like he wanted to throw the ball because he was going to have Desmond Duffy open across, but just too long developing play and chased down by Roberto Ceballos.
So, once again, tag, you're it. The up back is going to be Story for the Huskies. Deep back, I think, might be Johnson. We'll see. High offsides on the Huskies. Fair catch called right there at the 38. And it was Johnson that pulls it in. But a flag on the play should move it 5 yards up the field as the Huskies jumped. Yeah, big question. What do you do, Mr. Neyland? It could be 4th down and maybe 1, less than 1.
And not many times where you think the third game of the season is very important and set an identity for your squad. The way your defense is playing, you're probably going to kick it away. But you know what we like to do. Let's go for it here on a 4th and less than a yard. Let's go for it. Let's establish. But it looks like they're going to kick it away.
Here's the thing. You could see chicanery on this play. But if it's chicanery, it better work. 4th down and 1 for the Hornets. Defense playing them straight up. No chicanery. End over end. Signaled for a fair catch. Caught at the 32. Gain of maybe about 8 yards at the most. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Huskies with 5:48 to go in the first quarter. Well, it's been back and forth. A little for you, a little for me, a little for you, a little for me, a little for you, a little for... You know what?
I was just going to say nothing for nobody.
Okay, there we go. Dante Bell brings them back out. Running back once again, Tanner Anderson in the backfield. 1st down and 10 for the Huskies at the 33. Coach yelling out instructions. Move Anderson from right to left. So they strengthen the left-hand side of the formation. Bell goes back. Cross there. Finally completes it. Gain of, I'm going to give him a short 4 on the play. Nice quick pass by that. Corey, first completion of the game for anybody.
Yeah, and Daniel Kletcher makes the stop. Kletcher stayed with the outside receiver, and that's a good rhythm throw.
And David Torres, who caught that, goes from the left side to the right side. So he flips over here along with Kobe Davenport. So it'll be Torres and Davenport to the near side with Victor Rodriguez. Anderson still at a running back. Bell at quarterback. 2nd down and a long 7 for the Huskies. Backs up. It's man to man. Here comes the pressure. They give it to the running back. There's nobody there for the outside. Kiss him goodbye. 50, 40. It's coming back. Holding against East LA is going to be the call. We're thinking at the 40-yard line.
And it looks like if that's 0, it's going to be Lamont White. He had Thaddeus Justin Jones around the jersey, around the shoulder pads, negating a run of 64 yards. And that was an excellent play design, excellent execution by the left tackle on the offensive line, sealing the edge, creating that gap in that alleyway for him to scoot through. But again, Lamont White didn't bring them hands back quick enough. And he got called for the hold. Excellent play. Would have been the longest run of the season for the Huskies.
And this is the thing that we saw last week for the Hornets. Mistakes hurt them. We've got told another young team out here, just like with the Hornets, that really the Huskies are a young football team. 2nd down and 11. So not 6 on the board, a few yards backward.
And that is Demaje Potts in the backfield now with Bell.
So Potts in the backfield after a dynamite running play when you think about it, because once he broke, nobody was going to catch him. They're going to run it again. This time the quarterback says Bell holds on to it, gets taken down at the 30. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 12 for the Huskies with 4:32 to go here in the first quarter on SportsNetUSA.net.
And it almost looked like a twist on the inside. Harvey broke middle and slashed in. Boyd came around a little bit but got cut off. But Ethan Charpentier was there to fill the gap.
Victor Rodriguez goes to the far side of the field. Kobe Davenport to the near side of the field. Big 3rd down for Bell. Needs 12 for a first. Hornets back up. Bell's got time. Now he feels pressure. Bell's going to run it. And he gets run out of bounds, Corey, on somebody who stayed at home and played defense.
Assignment football. You do your homework, you play well. And both these defensive coaching staffs have that same philosophy. Play assignment football, good things happen.
So 4th down. And again, it looks like teams are going to do something, and neither one of these teams have executed well enough to get that going on here on SportsNetUSA.net. One of these teams, if they ever wake up, the other team's in trouble. End over end. Signal for a fair catch right there at the 42-yard line. So the Hornets will get decent field position. Decent, pretty, attractive. You know what? If I had that many dates with that many good-looking people, I'd be a happy man. They've been in the right field position all night long, playing good football tonight so far here in the first quarter. Vacapuno comes back in here on SportsNetUSA.net. So Vacapuno at the running back. Josiah Jarrett comes out. 1st down and 10. Right at the 43. They crawl up on the line of scrimmage. They break the middle. They hand it to Vacapuno. The big man runs over a person to the outside. It's a foot race. The big man, Corey, bowled over somebody at the 35. And I'm going to give it to you. You know about big men running.
That's my Elvis impression.
There we go.
No, Elvis, that's what he does. 23 yards on the run. That's what you need if you're the Hornets. That excitement, that big play.
1st down and 10 for the Hornets, right at the 33. They're coming. Why not? Give it to the big man. And Elvis gets a gain of 5. And Corey, the offensive line is moving defensive players.
Yes.
Thank you. So, a gain of 5 on the play. Vacapuno stays in there. Just an honor in the backfield with him. Coming to the near side of the field, that is going to be Bevenu. Watch out for him. It's one-on-one in this corner. Joshua looks back. 2nd down. We get motion against the Hornets on the far side of the field as Logan Lester just did one of these. I think I'm moving. Wait a minute. My feet are stuck. And that's going to move him back 5 yards.
So what happened was Logan was going to get the ball. It was his play call.
2:19 to go. 2nd down now, and we'll say 10. It's close. See if they stay with the same run play. Offensive line has done well here on this drive. Honore gets away from one, breaks the outside, stays on his feet, up the middle, flips all the way down to the 26-yard line they're going to give him. It's going to be a makeable 3rd down and 3.
And Hayden Frazier did a nice job. He's the pulling guard on the right side. No, excuse me. He's the center who pulled out and led the way for Justin Honore.
Logan Lester comes to the near side of the field. Corey said he's going to get the ball. We'll see if it's on this play. Man to man. They hand it straight up the middle. Vacapuno says, let me go get the 1st down. I'm the opening act. You need to follow me. They follow for a 1st down at the 20.
Mark, and I can't see it all. That was Corey Rivera-Zamora on the last play who led the way. Remind me to bring my binoculars next time.
I will do that. Vacapuno is going to go out of the game. So, Josiah Jarrett gets ready, looks things over. 1st down and 10 for the Hornets at the 20. They hand and stay with the running play. Off of left tackle, Corey, they seal the inward side of the defense, run the people out wide, you follow them defensively, creates a natural hole for 6 yards. Running game is working with 43 seconds to go. Should get one more playoff before they head to the opposite end of the field.
And it's not the quickest developing run plays either, so that means the offensive line is getting pushed.
Big second down. Here they come. Everybody's moving, and there's that should be a personal foul.
And so what it's going to do if they call illegal procedure on the Hornets and the late hit, it's offsetting.
Yes. Did they throw a flag on the hit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And Corey, that's where if you're a coach and you do something like that, you want to say to somebody, and Josiah Jarrett comes over towards his head coaches. Let's see what we get. We get illegal procedure against the Hornets. Dead ball, personal foul. It's an automatic first down because it's a dead ball personal foul. Yes. So it should be first down Fullerton where they're at. Basically they get, here we go, we're going to mark it off, and it's going to give the Hornets a first down. Why is it not offsetting? Because it was a dead ball foul. The play was ruled down by the officials, then the hit took place. So it'll be first down and 10 for the Hornets, or is it going to be first and goal for the Hornets at the 10? The clock stopped. We'll see them wind the clock. There's 28 seconds to go. Once the official gives the signal, that'll wind it. So 28 seconds to go. See if the Hornets try to get it off. Josiah Jarrett looks over. On a race still in the backfield. First and goal from the 10. Hornets in motion. Here they come. All right, straight up the middle. Line of scrimmage. Taken down. Stood up. No gain on the play.
Fielded by Camarena and, again, Ceballos, two of the top three leading tacklers for the Huskies.
And that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. As we come to the end of the first quarter, it's the Huskies 0, the Hornets 0, here on Sportsnet USA.net. We want to thank all our viewers for being here today on Sportsnet USA.net. Want to thank Scott Giles working with us on this situation today here at ELAC, Ed Ford, Ryan Osborne, who's actually over on the other side right now, helping them on Husky side. We all by ourselves, old guy. We must be getting bright, right?
No, we're getting allergies is what it
Okay,
is.
that's what I'm watching Corey Neyland say. There's dust in this room here on SportsNetUSA.net. So a lot of movement, but no excitement. Would you say jitters are worked out in the first quarter?
Well, here's your second cliche of the game. It's like two boxers feeling out in opening rounds. That's what that first quarter was, is that feeling each other out, jab, 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 jab. Maybe throw a right hand or left hand, doesn't matter. It was unorthodox.
Okay, so if you're the offense coordinator, do you put a little faith in Josiah Jarrett and say, okay, young man?
No, you have
keep
faith.
running it?
You have faith in him. You say, yes, we have faith in him. Let's get you something positive for later on in this ball game.
Bakapuna still in at running back. To the near side of the field is Logan Lester. Second and goal from the 10. Bakapuna running from left to right, and Corey, he's not fast enough to outrun linebackers who clear the line of scrimmage.
No, nobody's fast enough for three linebackers clearing the line of scrimmage, and you had nowhere to go. Tremel Isaac was there first.
So they try to run to the outside with Elvis, and Elvis has had a good day, but he's been running up the middle to get his yardage.
And here is where you trust Josiah. Get him on the outside with the play action fake, going to the right side, rolling out. If you don't have your first person open, get you some positive yardage, and let's get some points.
Third and goal for the Hornets just at the start of the second quarter here on SportsNetUSA.net. Josiah throws it out in the flat to his tight end. Gain of a couple, and then we get a little things, and you can hear the ELAC coaches to our left because there's a little extra activity on the field, making sure they don't have a defensive player getting a flag and giving the Hornets a free first down. So the Hornets look to get on the board first. The ball is spotted at the 20. You add 10. It is a 30-yard attempt from the far hash marks. The ball is down. The kick is up. And the kick is not close here on Sportsnet, USA.net. So ELAC holds to start the second quarter. One of the things the coaches talked about, and I had the opportunity to spend a good hour with the head coach, was, hey, special teams has to find a way to get points. They've got to do that. Defense has to play good, and offense just needs to not make a mistake. If we do that, there is a good chance we can win the game. First chance for special teams to do something positive comes up in a negative fashion here on Sportsnet.
Right now, Fullerton's defense needs like a Jernigan play. When we used to play, Dale used to play, and somehow he'd always make a big play when you needed it. That's what Fullerton needs right now.
Dante Bell looks over. Not enough linemen out there to help him out. Dante Bell signals over the bench. Play clock is going. They held, it's down to 7, 6, 5, 4. Bell gets it off. Throws it over here into the flat. Right there to make the play. Good defense by the Hornets. So they saw the play coming. Bell's thrown a couple times, but he's thrown it out in the flat. That was to Potts. Gain of 1 on the play. Lamont White comes to the near side of the field. Potts stays in the backfield. David Torres goes to the slot on the far side of the field. Dante Bell at quarterback. Looking for that big play. They had a heck of a running play called back for holding. They go out there, go across the middle, going deep. Picked by defense. Got to get a return. And that's one of the things they talked about down at the 29. And
Antoine Johnson Jr., the first pick of the season for him, the first pick of the season for Fullerton's defense. DBJU is back.
So, one of the things that head coach Brian Crook said we needed was that. Now let's see if they can produce points with that. First down and 10. At the 28. Josiah Jarrett comes out. See what they run here. Jarrett has done well at quarterback today. He's managed the team well. They decide. Straight dive. Honore spins off one Corey. He gets all the way down to the 20 as a running back. Gain of 7 on the play. Second down and 3 with 12:29 to go. Hornets had an opportunity to get 3. Couldn't do it. Defense comes up with a big turnover. Bevenu comes out to the near side of the field. Hicks comes with him. Second down and 3. Honore goes to the outside. Shreds one tackle. Gets hit. Stays on his feet. Cuts to the middle. Down to the 5. Bounce. Pinball, pinball, pinball. And there are flags, flags, and flags as people are hooked up.
And Mark, that's the type of Jernigan play that they needed. Let's just go ahead and run right at you. You're going to tackle me. You're going to pay for it. As DeLon Story paid for that run by Justin Honore.
But let's see who the dead ball foul is against.
Should be both. They're going to have to get the one. It should be both.
Okay. Corey Neyland says, if you're going to tag somebody, tag them both. We'll see if both of them get tagged here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
So we want to thank all of our listeners from Georgia. I know Josiah's fam is listening. Our listeners in Arizona
Personal foul, Hornets. And Corey, they called it one way.
Well, hey, now Fullerton's going to have to matriculate back down. And again, want to thank all our listeners from Arizona for joining us tonight. And Georgia.
So great field positions, moves the Hornets back. Brian Crooks is stepping on the field to ask the official why it wasn't two-way. Well, Brian, the officials didn't see it that way, so that's why it's not two-way.
You got a parent's answer. Because
Arnie Robles, the interim head coach. Nice interview with Arnie when we went down to talk to him.
and we're going to talk about that a little bit later.
So it's first down and 10, back at the 20. They're starting all over again. Josiah's got time. He's got somebody open. Flips it to the flat in the end zone. Go ahead, Corey Neyland, mention it.
And that's where the repetitions will come into play. Dustin Duffy was coming down on a long wiggle, not a wiggle, but a long slant down the seams from one right seam to the left seam. He was open for about 20 yards till he got to the end zone. Once Josiah gets that rhythm and comfortable ability in the pocket, he'll see that.
Second down and 10 at the 20. Bakapuna comes in at running back. Honor Ray stays there. To the near side of the field is Logan Lester. Big tight end on the field. Desmond Duffy, actually the wide receiver in the slot on the near side of the field. Second down and 10 from the 20 for the Hornets at 11:45 to go here in the second quarter. We get a flag, should be motion against the Hornets. And it is motion against the Hornets. Let's move them back 5 more yards.
Now, this is reminiscent to last week with the Hornets.
So it brings up second down and 15, now at the 25. Duffy stays to the near side of the field.
But I like the offense, what sets they're inning. They're giving Jarrett 2 in the backfield. They're giving that option. They're giving that 1 option, 2 option, triple option effect.
Duffy stays in the slot. Bakapuna at running back. Timeout, Fullerton. So with 11:17 to go here in the first half, well, it's a tight battle right now. It's about as tight as Corey Neyland's pants when you think about it. And that's pretty tight when you talk about it. We're sitting at 0 with 11:17 to go. It's the Huskies 0, the Hornets 0 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Ed Ford down to my right doing his cleaning.
Ouch, Mark.
You know, you like that?
That hurt.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I'm just saying, it's a close game. That's all. Gabby Neyland down in the grandstands. Nice turnout from the Fullerton fans. Great turnout from the ELAC fans here on SportsNetUSA.net. Want to thank everybody at home staying with us here on SportsNetUSA.net. Hornets come out. Second down and 15 at the 25. 11:17 to go. Hornets had an opportunity to get 3. Missed the field goal. Got a pick. Got down to the 5. Penalty. Took that one back. East LA's coming. Cross the middle. Misses the receiver. Incomplete pass. And tried to hit Desmond Duffy. Still looking for his first completion of the night. Josiah, just a little off. Eventually, he's going to connect on one, and the engine will start running.
And again, that time they had it covered. Jahari Woolley, was chasing him down on the outside. Zach Camareno had him on the front side, no way to complete that pass.
Big third down for the Hornets. Would like to pick up at least 10 to give it an easier field goal attempt. Go back. Josiah gets a block. Looks down the middle. Bakapuna going down. Touchdown. Did they call it a touchdown or at the 1? Corey, I'm trying to figure out, did she call it a touchdown or at the 1?
Looks like they got it a touchdown.
Touchdown by Vakapuna.
So 25 yards again, not pushing the ball down the field, but again, getting the ball out into the comfort zone in the flat with one blocker, and Elvis, he does the rest.
Josiah gets to Elvis. Elvis had a blocker in front of him that threw a key block, and then Vakapuna decided we're going to get something out of this. Ball is spotted, the kick is up, and the kick is good. With 11:03 to go, the first score of the game. The Hornets 7, the Huskies 0, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Let's go back to that play, Corey, because it was a safe throw for Josiah. It was looking like they were going to just try and pick up yardage.
It was one of those plays where you missed a field goal in the opening, your last possession. So let's try to get a short play, pick up yardage, and go for it again on a 4th and shorter rather than a 3rd and 15. 4th and 7 is manageable. He had that blocker in front of him, and I think it was Logan, but I couldn't tell if it was Logan Lester on that left side. Either way, blocked to clear out, and he does the rest. He breaks one tackle, gets into the end zone. Got to worry about his celebration, okay? You got those antics and those tactics. You know, it might come back to haunt him.
We'll see what happens. But right now, your Hornets are up 7-0 against the Huskies here on Sportsnet, USA.net. White going back deep here on Sportsnet, USA.net for the Huskies. Standing next to him is going to be Tanner Anderson. So White, the near back for the Huskies in the dark uniforms, going from right to left on your computer screen. Goes to Anderson into the end zone. That'll be an automatic touchback.
And Fullerton College doing good things. Speaking of good things, we got people in Moreno Valley now chiming in. Thank you for listening and watching on SportsNetUSA.net. We got moms listening to us. Hey, Mom, how you doing? Listening to us and watching on SportsNetUSA.net. It's feeling good right now for the Hornets. They got that opportunity to get the get a points on the board. Now it's East LA's turn to get a positive drive here. They don't have to score, but they need something positive on this drive here.
Yeah, and really when you think about the Hornets, they did it with a turnover, which is something the head coach said they needed to do. One of the two head coaches here on SportsNetUSA.net. Dante Bell goes back. This kid's got a gun. Bell gets away, throws it deep down the middle of the field. Ball is thrown short. Yeah, the receiver got knocked down, but Corey, it was not going to be a catchable ball anyway.
And it seems like Dante needs to be a little bit more decisive out there. We watched a lot of Brandon Nunez the last 2 years for the Hornets, and when he got in trouble, it was when he was thinking and holding the ball too long. You don't get your first 2 reads, you got to pick up 3. You got to pick up 4. 2nd and 6 sounds much better than 3rd and 10.
Yeah, take off running, young man, if it's not there for you. Giron now in the backfield for them. So Giron in at running back for the Huskies. Bell at quarterback. Big 2nd down and 10. Defense has played well for the Hornets so far. Little flip over here. Almost picked. And then a nice catch. And Corey, now we're getting a flag on the play. I'm trying to figure out what it's face mask.
It looked like it's a face mask on the tackle, but that's what I saw out there.
Okay. So Corey Neyland says we're going to tack 15 onto this one. We'll see if that's what it is with 10:50 to go.
Victor Rodriguez with the catch.
Personal foul. Corey was absolutely right. Face mask. So we'll tack on 15 against the Hornet. That should give the Huskies excellent field position all the way out to the 45. 1st down and 10. And Corey, it's like you said, talk about being decisive. Defensive backs tried to get an opportunity, couldn't get it, and they paid the price.
So Hiron is back in the backfield for them.
So he'll stay there with Bell. Out here on the near side of the field is going to be White. He's a burner. They can find him. Bell looks to go. We'll see if they hand it off. Start a man in motion in the front, get people to move. Straight dive play up the middle, and there it is. Hole opens up, and Corey, there's that nice little run right across the middle. When you look at Brandon, he can rock and roll when he gets in the clear.
Zuniga makes the tackle, and again, when your defensive lineman is making the tackle 10 yards down the field, well, that's a problem for the defense.
Yeah, and I mean, it's really something when you look at it. So, first down and 10. Huskies are on the move. Big first down for the Huskies. Bell looks things over. Hornet defense needs to step up if you're a Hornet fan. Throw it, and like you said, Bell makes a decision. He goes the outside. A shoelace trips him, and I mean, basically that's what it is. If he doesn't go down, he turns the corner, he picks up an easy first.
You see the spark of a really good quarterback in Dante Bell, because if he throws that pass, it's a pick six, but he recognizes that Bryant Meredith is jumping the route. He picks up that 4, and again, 2nd and 6 instead of a pick 6 and a 2nd and 10.
White stays here to the near side of the field. Torres is in the slot next to him. Herone is still the running back for ELAC. 2nd down and a long 6. Bell looks things over. Dante Bell is saying, hey, you got to move. You got to move. They run it straight down the middle. Once again, there's a hole. Should be a first down. Is he going to be a little short? I think he made it.
I think he made it too, but isn't there a new rule, Mark, that if a helmet comes off,
you can't be in the play?
Okay, you have to get out of the play or else it's a penalty.
Yeah, it's called
Okay.
About participation.
Chef Boyd goes out, his helmet comes off. He goes out for at least one play.
And you look at Brandon so far this year, Corey, he's averaging 18 yards a game at running back for this ELAC team. The way he's going right now, he'll break that tonight. First down and 10 at the 35. The Huskies on the move, answering the Hornet score. Let's see if they can tie it up with 8:27 to go. Bell has time. Cross the middle. Wide open and by himself. And I tell you what, you throw it to a wide open receiver.
Sanaa Aguirre.
They're going to get yardage on it. So Aguirre all by himself, Corey. Defense busted on the play. He was all alone. Aguirre now goes to the far side of the field. I like the tempo the Huskies are playing at. They picked it up just a little. And that's got everybody from Fullerton sitting back on their heels. Bell's ready. Bell looks over at things. 2nd down and 1. Straight dive play up the middle. Huge hole. And the Huskies are motoring right now. Everything is working for the Huskies. As Jerome once again picks up a chunk of yardage on the play.
Mohamed Hasuna, along with Derek Bermudez, in the ball game for the Hornets. And this is the offensive possession that East LA needed to get back in this ball game, and they can feel like they can move the ball now.
Yeah, they do. Tanner Anderson now back in at running back. First down and 10. Right at the 17-yard line. Why change it if it's working? Tanner says, that's right, give me the hole. I'll sneak through there. I'll pick up. Ball comes out. No, I thought for a second ball came out. He just didn't go down.
That was his foot that slipped out trying to pick up that extra yardage.
They're going to mark it right at the first down marker, and we've got a player down. Oh, it's 5 yards short. Okay.
And it looks like it's Jeremy Naborn who's down, slowly the starting outside linebacker for the Hornets. And let's hope he's okay, because he was one of those players that came into the season who was going to be all conference in the Southern League in the SCFA. And again, you see the athletic trainers going out there, Mark, and every game you mention the athletic trainers at this community college level. Why?
Oh, they're excellent. I mean, you look at them at this level, they care about the student athletes. They're skilled at what they do. A lot of people will tell you they think that Fullerton's got some of the best athletic trainers in the nation. They have a great program over there if you're looking to do things. You look at right now with the Fullerton College Hornets, San Diego Mesa is at the top of the list. They're 2-0 overall. Fullerton coming into this game is 1-1. Grossmont 1-1. Mount San Jacinto 1-1. Palomar 1-1. Riverside surprisingly 1-1. Here on SportsNetUSA.net. Was somebody agreeing with me about how close this game was? On SportsNetUSA.net? I think that could be the possible answer. And when you look at some of the things going on right now, San Mateo is ranked number 1. Mount Sac is number 2. Golden West College sitting at 3 in the latest rankings. Butte at 4. Riverside at 5 at 1-1. Modesto at 6. Fresno at 7. San Diego Mesa sitting there at number 8. American River at 9. Ventura at 10. Allen Hancock at 11. And Fullerton at 12. You're on SportsNetUSA.net. First down. Let's see if they can get it. Up the middle. He refuses to go down. Okay, I said he had a first down. I called it early. You know me. I'm sort of like those guys from Santa Barbara. I can see the future, as Tanner Anderson says, yeah, I get that first down, which he doesn't. Hurry up offense. I like the tempo from these Huskies. They go back. Anderson says, I'll get through the hole. Defense can't get him down. Gain of 3 on the play. 2nd and goal at the 3 for the Huskies. 6:22 to go. They are moving the machine with straight power football against the Hornets. Don't change it. It works. It's one thing where you don't, as a coach, want to try and outthink yourself. If you're a Husky fan, just keep running the ball. Make the Hornets stop you. 2nd and goal. Big quarterback keeps it himself, and Corey, everybody on the defense said, you can't keep doing what you've been doing. That's going to be a loss on the play all the way back to the 8-yard line.
That's Sean Malcolm with the tackle for loss. Team's 2nd leading tackler, 1.5 tackles for loss now on the season for Sean.
3rd down and goal now from the 8. 5:30 to go here in the first half. The Hornets 7, the Huskies 0 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Anderson stays in the game at running back. Love this guy, the way he runs the football.
Had that 64-yarder called back earlier.
That's right, a holding call, or it would be. This for the go-ahead. Hornets are coming. High snap, throw across the middle. Knocked down, incomplete. Okay, 4th down, what do? We're going to get official timeout.
Injured player limps off the field. You're going to
kick a field goal?
East LA has had some kicking troubles this season as well on those field goal attempts. So, actually, only extra point attempts. So
Parker Pinto is going to come into the game right now, Corey, and try to get him a little closer with 5:03 to go.
Extra points, he's 2 for 3.
They spot it at the 15. They add 10. It will be a 26-yard attempt. Pinto from the near hash is where they will attempt it.
And, Mark, let's get to some scores real quick, and let's hope the young man is okay. Up north, Sequoias 58, San Joaquin Delta 7. Down south, Mark, Golden West 7, San Diego Mesa 22, and that's a final.
That's amazing. San Diego Mesa has woken up.
One more score, West LA 34, LA Pierce 20. Staying down here, let's go back up for one more. Up north, San Jose 40, Siskiyous 27.
The race is open for that at-large team now down here in the south with everybody losing.
Mount Sac right now is the only undefeated team now.
So here comes the attempt. Like we said, ball at the 15, add 10. It's 25 from the near hash. There's movement. That should be against the Hornet. It should move them a few yards closer. What do you do, Coach?
I don't know, but I gave wrong information. Mount Sac is not the only undefeated team.
Okay.
I'm still kicking it. I need some points. I need my field goal kicker to get some points anyway.
I'm going to disagree with you. I'm not going to kick it. I think your running attack is good enough with a quarterback that if you run an option play, basically somebody will get into the end zone. You don't like that, huh?
I think if
you
it
want
was
3.
less than 2 yards to go, I'd say you got a chance. But right now, 3, that's tough, especially since Fullerton will be playing the run. You want 3 here.
So they move it to the 11. It makes it a 21-yard attempt. Again, near hash mark. A little soccer style. Ball is spotted. Ball is up. And the ball is good. So with 4:57 to go, well, the Huskies do what they wanted to do. They took the advice of Corey Neyland and said, okay, let's get some points on the board. They creep a little closer with 4:57 to go. It's the Hornets 7, the Huskies 3 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Let's get to some more scores before Mark gives his halftime scores. Why, I go check on Gabby.
Okay.
Reedley in the fourth quarter down to Foothill 17-3. De Anza all over Hartnell 45-12. Butte beat San Francisco. San Francisco's 0-3. Butte 3-0, 30-14. Fresno City moves up 4-0 with the win against American River at 14-10. With that win there, San Mateo loses to Modesto. Been a long time coming for Modesto. 23-20, they get the win over the Bulldogs in Modesto. You know, they're living up to that top 10 ranking this season. Canyon's feeling it after a win last week against Fullerton. They beat Palomar 26-7. Mount Sac all over Allen Hancock 41-19 as a victory. Riverside in the second beating El Camino by 7, 14-7.
Logan Lester back deep on the far side of the field. At least that's what it looked like. Oh, okay, so it is not. It's Jared Peters. To Jared Peters' family, I got to tell you, you've got the most magnificent young man I have met. What a nice young man. Hopefully you're watching. One of the nicest young guys you would meet. Had the opportunity to visit with him on the field the other day. So the Hornets up by 4 with basically 5 minutes to go here on SportsNetUSA.net. Corey, myself, happy to bring you this community college game today. Floater. Up short. Taken right up the middle. Trying to go down. All the way down. Vakapuna gets that one up close on a short kick. And you know what? Elvis is let me just say, he is an excellent north to south runner. That's what everybody says on a football field. It's north to south, east to west, the sideline. Even though that's not the right story. Corey, when you take him out wide, he's just not fast enough to outrun anybody.
He's tackle in, and I think that's where he does his most damage.
Okay. Josiah Jarrett comes out, has his first touchdown of the year throwing the football in this game tonight here on SportsNetUSA.net. 1st and 10 at the 45. Josiah feeling good. Goes across the middle. Can't get it going across the middle. Tried to get it to Desmond Duffy, and he is down.
He takes a big hit, and I couldn't tell if that was Tony Garcia who hit him, and that's tough for Josiah.
Ed Ford, could you get Corey Neyland a uniform? Because we're going to throw him out there at quarterback in just a second.
And you got to feel for the young man because he went down hard in his first start after his first touchdown.
And Corey, they lost 2 quarterbacks last week in the debacle. Number 1, number 2 goes down. Josiah comes in to get his opportunity, throws a touchdown. Now he is down. Gray shirt. I think they can play a minimum of 2 games without giving up their gray shirt for the season, is the 4th quarterback here for the Hornets. And number 4, because of the way he looked like he got it, at least has to come in if he's not concussed for 1 play. And that's the thing with the trainers looking at him. That's your big worry right now. Did he get concussed?
I think he simply landed wrong.
Okay.
And so walking off gingerly, I'm not sure he got.
We don't know.
So we can't speculate on that.
With 4:46 to go. And it would be a shame if he did put his helmet back on.
But we
Of course,
can't.
that doesn't really mean anything,
we
does
can't.
it?
Yeah, we'll leave it there.
But for the family that we have met, he's up. He walked to the sideline on his own. From there, we can't tell you anything else.
And I know I'm gonna mess up his dad's name. So if you're watching, go ahead and put it up there. It was Rob, I believe. And looks like Elvis and Justin Honore will be in the backfield. So it looks like it's Elvis who's going to take the snap. So this might be beneficial to the Hornets.
Wow. Elvis runs it straight up the middle. Elvis gets knocked down, takes a high shot, first down. Elvis bounces right back up.
And what happens? Justin leads the way, and they pick up 12. We're not going to call this that wildcat formation because I can't stand that terminology. Yeah. So Elvis, this is, you know what this is, Mark? He's got 42 on his jersey. This is 1942 style. And here comes Josiah back into the ball game. Tough young man.
Did you see Honore and Elvis look at each other going, what do you mean we're coming off the field? That just worked.
You know, I'm thinking a couple more plays, let Josiah get his feet a little bit more and keep running till they stop it.
First down and 10 at the 44. David Wagner now in the game at tight end. Josiah comes up, gives it to Honore, who is welcomed here to ELAC. He never left the parking lot.
Zach Camarena said, I'm hungry. Where's the food? And it's right there. The ball is there in the backfield at the time of the handoff. You cannot dissect anything better than that.
You know what Elvis said on the sideline? I gain yards, Coach. What's the deal? And Corey, look what they do. Oh, I thought for a second they were going to say to Josiah, you go out. We're going to let these guys do it this time.
I love that attitude. I love that play.
Yeah, it's different for the defense. Who do I cover? Can he throw the football? Josiah gets people moving. We're going to get a flag. It should be motion against the Hornets.
Motion, illegal shift, whatever you want to call it. That shift, I saw 2 people moving at least.
So 3:14 to go here in the first half. It's the Hornets 7, the Huskies 3. The Hornets should feel good about having the lead because right now, realistically, yeah, I know penalties happen and they're going to get called, but could easily be 10-7 right now in favor of the Huskies. We start the clock. We're at 3 minutes right now. Second down and a ride on the 60 to get us back home. That's how far they are for a first. Josiah looking things over. Needs to find somebody open. Running the same play again. They hand it off. Straight up the middle. Bakapuna gets a lead. Helmet gets knocked off. And there's a flag on 74. This should be against East LA. If it is, it will be a first down. Personal foul. And Corey,
so they call offsetting personal fouls with Rivera Zamora and Larry Thomas.
And Brian Crooks walks on the field and says, last time that happened, you threw the flag against us.
Chapter 5 of home cooking, Mark.
Offsetting penalties. So 2:39 to go. The Huskies just moved it down the field. You'd like to at least keep the ball to end this first half with a lead. They come up. Josiah feels pressure. runs across the middle, drops it on the hands of the receiver who cannot pull it in, and Corey Hicks should have caught the football.
You know, I'm going to take this back to the older generation listening to this. Doug Williams, his first couple years in the NFL, came through. His receivers 5 yards away were trying to catch a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. That's what that was. So Josiah has calmed that down just a little bit, and that's a completion.
Yeah, and there was room for Hicks to run. 4th down. The Huskies trying to get an answer here. Hey, they crawled in. They had a good. They've got time to get back on the board and possibly high snap. End over end. Should hit the ground. Should Hornets need to get in front of it and down it? They do. All the way down. It was grabbed, and they're going to say the Hornets knocked it towards the goal at the 5.
Yeah, he grabbed it at the 5, took a couple more steps to the 2. Still a very good punt of 35 yards down to the 5-yard line with 2:08 to play. Here's what you're thinking. You're thinking if you're a Hornet fan, the Hornet defense, let's get a turnover. If you're a Huskies fan, we're going to go into halftime 73. We're cool. But if we can get one big play, let's push the tempo and try to get more points.
And you know what? I'm going to keep running the ball if I'm the Huskies right now. I got enough time. I got timeouts in my back pocket. I don't need to be throwing it deep right now. That's one thing I can honestly say. Let's not throw it deep.
Michael Anderson.
In at quarterback for ELAC. So they run it right up the middle. Don't jump on the pile if you're the Hornets. You don't want to get a flag. 2 minutes. They do now have the 2-minute warning here at the community college.
2-minute timeout.
2-minute timeout, please. Let me call it 2-minute siesta time here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
The 2-minute scoreboard update.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Hey, since we're doing that, you go ahead and talk. I'll get ready for halftime.
Yes, you're going to have a lot to talk about. Citrus 21. Nothing over Grossmont in the second quarter. Mount San Jacinto will be out at Mount San Jacinto next week.
Casey Mazzota, make us lunch.
Mount San Jacinto over Moore Park 7-3. Fullerton here 7-3 in the second. Saddleback 21-7 over Antelope Valley. 21-7 with 1:13 to play in the half.
Educators. Yes, we love them.
Educators, not readers. Bakersfield 38-0 over San Bernardino Valley with 12-11 in the second quarter.
2 minutes to go. Husky, once again, looking to run the ball. Knocked out of bounds at the 10. Gain of, I'm going to say a loss. Oh, they're going to give a gain of what on that? Gain of 3 on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now, if you're the Hornet defense, Corey, this is where you need to make that stand. You've got to turn around and sort of stop things. You look at Michael Anderson at quarterback. See if you can stop him. He's got a little more room to play with. They wind the clock. 1:50 to go. Hornets need to walk up and see if they can play defense. The Huskies just want to get a first.
That timeout was taken by Fullerton, right?
Yes.
So they should have 1.
They run it again. Down in the backfield. Drop for a loss. Now we're going to get what? Timeout on the field by the Hornets here on Sportsnet, USA.net. So it was the 2-minute warning. We had the 2-minute warning, and then we had the timeout by the Hornets. Yeah, remember 2-minute timeout?
No.
Okay. You know, that's where you get your milk and a cracker, and then you take a nap for the entire second half. We wake you up.
That's what kind of cracker? That's not a good combination. Milk and do I get a biscuit?
No biscuits.
Or is it
Come
a saltine? Milk and saltines don't work.
No, they don't. No. You know what? I'll give you like one of the pro-hygienic brownies. It tastes like cardboard, but it works with milk. Okay, so I get a bunch of stares. What can I say here on
Back to the
Sports
scores.
USA?
LA Valley
That's it.
over Victor Valley in the Battle of the Valleys, 22-13 at LA Valley in the second. Long Beach 14-0 over Southwestern in the second period. Cerritos putting some points on the board, 19-14 over Ventura.
So the Hornets could get excellent field position at the 45. If you're the Hornets, you look to play a return. Brian Crooks out on the field to talk to the White Hat.
Trying to see what the time is on the clock. So I wasn't the only one not paying attention.
They don't change it.
135 now instead of 127.
Hornets don't want to jump. Huskies would like to get a nice kickoff so that they can walk away only being down by 4. Here comes the rush. It's out, and it's going to be a safety for special teams.
The same thing happened to ELAC last week against Allen Hancock in the end zone, a bad snap. And the Hornets pick up 2 points here with a chance to pick up 6 when they get the ball back.
Okay, so you went down and talked to Brian Crooks, and I'd already given you the Brian Crooks routine. Special teams needs to do something special, and I pass that on to you.
Yeah, but
defense needs to make a defensive play. He's gotten 2 out of his. What, you're not going to say special teams did something special there?
No, they didn't. That was East LA mishandled the snap. That was all East LA. That's one of the things that they had to clean up coming into this ball game. And again, for the second week in a row, it comes up and was disastrous.
Who gets credit for that? Special teams. You know?
Did they block the punt?
No.
No. Did they come in and force them to?
Could have been.
No. Eyes off the ball.
Well, I tell you what, you know what? Those listening need to be sending those notes in right now saying,
we need a ruling.
boy, Corey Neyland, shame on you.
Let's get a ruling, folks.
Okay, we're going to get a ruling? Okay, we got a judge behind us. We'll get a ruling. We get an official standing behind us, giving us a ruling. So the Hornets, no matter how you look at it, are now up 9-3 on the safety. Oh, here comes the official ruling.
On base percentage or average.
What,
Don't forget to tune into our specials throughout every season. It's football. Was it special teams or not? Did they make it happen? Softball and baseball. What's more important, on base percentage or batting average?
I'll tell you what. Was it a penalty? Was it an error? See, was it an error? You know I'd always call an error first. Didn't do that. I'm giving a lot of love to the Hornets tonight. Not too much, though. Can't do that. So the Hornets, Corey, it's a big play for the Hornets because ELAC had played well. They get 2 points back. Taken at the 30. Up the middle. Looking to go to the outside. It's a foot race. He turns the corner at the 50. The 40. Down the sidelines. Taken down. Right there. Jared Peters. Jared, and we have a flag at the 41. Jared Peters, and again to the Peters family, your young man is not just a great athlete. He's a wonderful young man. Thank you for having such a special young man.
And, Mark, it was a personal foul against East LA. I didn't see what happened on that play. I didn't see anybody come and crack back. I didn't see any hit from behind.
The crackback block is pretty interesting now because if you turn and touch somebody, before it had to be, if your hands were out, you were okay. If I gave you a little push, it's not supposed to be called a crackback block, but they still do.
I'm going to have to ask about that to see what happened.
So they move it all the way down to the 18. Hornets could capitalize with 1:12 to go. Vakapuna in the backfield. This will be a big play. We'll see. Joshua Jarrett has a chance, goes back, has time, goes up far side. Push, nice defense by Elac, not allowing the receiver to get clear.
Yeah, Josiah was looking for Logan Lester, but Jeremiah Johnson was there. And again, I like the no call. I mean, too many games we've seen that being called, and it's a penalty on the defensive back. I like the physicality on the outside.
Yeah, and what I think defensive backs have the same right as everybody else. Logan Lester, again, comes out to this side. Vakapuna at running back for your Hornets. 2nd down and 10. Hand it off to the big man. This time he hits tackle. Then he goes upfield, Corey. That's going to be holding right there where the Hornets are.
You sure it's going to be holding, Mark?
I thought that's what it was going to be, holding on the corner.
And it looks like Larry Thomas is coming out of the ball game. Helmet came off. It's very chippy out there.
Well, and the head coach for ELAC is coming out to discuss it. And, here's the thing again. You're not supposed to walk on the field after an official. So I'm going to give the officials a lot of love, Corey. There's a great deal of restraint. Brian Crooks did it across the way more than once tonight. It is a personal foul. Face mask. Wow.
When Elvis turned the corner, he looked a little jerky around the end. So this is not going good for the Huskies, to say the least, with 1 minute to play. It's been a long
first half. Yeah, it really has.
Now, I was just going to say a long last 2 minutes of the ball game. We've only gone a minute, and it's been 20.
Well, the first quarter moved. Even though nobody scored, it moved. Second half, both teams had drives to get points into the board. And then this last part of this quarter has been a little slower. So I think a few more penalties has happened. But the Hornets have a chance. Josiah goes to the outside. Vakapuna says, you know what? Throw me the ball, baby.
When you got
Elvis.
When you got a team full of freshmen, it's nice to have that sophomore who's been around the college game for a period of time to get you grounded. That's his second touchdown reception, the second touchdown pass for Josiah. And Fullerton now
up by 15. And, Corey, you can see now you've got a safety valve on the field. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So, go ahead, Corey. The Hornets, 16, ELAC 3 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland, myself, happy to bring you this game. Well, the Hornets have done what we heard they had to do. They had to do things on special teams, which they did. They had to do things on offense when they had the opportunity, which they have. And defense has played well enough. They made the big stop when it looked like ELAC was going to get back into this game here on Sportsnet USA.net. So 16-3 as we get ready to end this first half here on Sportsnet USA.net. Ed Ford, myself, Corey Neyland, happy to bring you the game. Down the way, Albert Robles, along with Ryan Osborne, calling the game for ELAC here on Sportsnet USA.net. So a happy first half for these Hornets. They played well under what I would say, because of the injuries, difficult conditions from that point of view. It happens to every team. Everybody has injuries. Hornets lost a couple quarterbacks, and then they lost their running backs. Kick down the middle of the field. Off and in for a touchback. 16-3. Mickey Flynn would have liked this field, I can tell you that. When he played in the old days, he was called the ghost of La Palma Park. Reason being, there were shadows on the field, so Mickey, when he ran into the shadows down the field, would disappear to the fans. ELAC has hot spots and dark spots on the field. It's a great field, let's put it that way. But it is hot and cold when you look at it. Michael Anderson at quarterback. Coming out there. Anderson loses the ball on the ground. Hornets say they came up with it. So Anderson goes with a handoff, bumps into his running back. Ball comes out, and the Hornets say, hey, we've got it. Waiting for the white hat to signal. Hornet comes out of the pile. Still waiting for a signal. And they're going to say that it stays with ELAC, the Huskies. So just because you come out with the football at the end, there's going to be that whole discussion. Well, you had it. Well, no, somebody else might have had it. You grab it, come out, and you'll go there. So we're going to say, raise things up. We're at 30 seconds in this half. So the Hornets thought they got another turnover. Didn't do that. So the official.
I gotta walk through the fucking halls and shit.
So we're getting a conversation going on.
40 on the play clock.
So they're trying to get the play clock up, which is why the game is delayed right now here on SportsNetUSA.net. Head coach comes out to talk to the officials. Brian Crooks is out on the other side. I think Brian wants to know, how do you know it wasn't our ball? You know, head coaches. So they took the game clock to 40. They were supposed to take the play clock to 40. It was not at 37. Yeah. So goes back down. So we're going to start all over again. So a little bumping going out there as Anderson turned. When he turned, he bumped into Tanner Anderson. It was Anderson to Anderson. The ball got knocked clear. Clock is running. So they started it, and now the officials are looking at each other because they started the clock on the field, and I think ELAC is going to say, hey, let's just get off the field, go back to halftime, and regroup here on Sportsnet. So as we end up coming to the end of the first half, it's going to be your Fullerton College Hornets 16, the ELAC Huskies 3, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Well, an entertaining first half, maybe a sloppy first half when we look at it, but it started that way. And like Corey Neyland was talking, when you look around and when you talk about what's going on in football, everybody's already looking at the wins and losses. They already brought up the fact when Golden West won last week, Nick Mitchell's team, everybody said, hey, he's got an easy run. Nick's probably going to go undefeated. Well, we already know that ain't happening for Nick Mitchell because they lost to San Diego Mesa 22-7. Mesa stepped all over Golden West to start the game. Golden West could only score in the second quarter, and Mesa closed things out. San Joaquin Delta, well, they got spanked by the Sequoias. As I'll get Ed Ford coming on the air with me here on SportsNetUSA.net. And Ed, when you look at what happened up north, I mean, the Sequoias up 58-7. All over San Joaquin Delta in that Northern California.
Yeah, I know I'm a poor substitute for Corey Neyland, but yep.
And when you look at L.A. Pierce and West L.A., I mean, Ed, you know, one of those two teams could do
L.A.
something.
Pierce has struggled for a lot of seasons in a row. We've got to just say that. But West L.A. is shown a little spark. I believe they won last week also. So they get a 34-20, and they play well at their home field. So that helped a lot. San Jose looking pretty good, Mark.
Yeah.
40-27 over Siskiyous.
Yeah, and Ed, you know the things that are real interesting. We talk. I know Corey and I talk about how good the South is, but because we have done a lot of softball together on sportsnetusa.net, there's really a lot of talent in Northern California.
Oh,
we
yeah.
just sort of poo-poo it down here in Southern California when we look at it. And when we're talking about things going on, I mean, Foothill against Reedley. Foothill comes away with a 17-3 win over Reedley. Game, they're not quite done yet. They still got the fourth quarter, so it's not done. But Foothill's a good football team. I don't see them losing that
Yeah,
game.
Reedley moved up from the American Division ranks, 3 seasons ago, and last year they got into the playoffs, and I believe they were in the playoffs before that. They played with Sac City and Modesto and Fresno, and they had some tough teams there, but this year they are not looking as sharp as they have in the last 2 or 3 seasons, so this could be a long season for Reedley.
And, Ed, I've got to, the next game when we bring it up here, I mean, I know where De Anza is and Hartnell, but, I mean, I don't really look at De Anza, I can't even say the name right now, De Anza, as being a populated area where they should be able to get so much talent. They seem to do well in the sports they participate in.
Yeah, 45-12 final over Hartnell. And then, Mark, City College of San Francisco, and we've been doing community college football. I mean, you and Corey did the 2013 championship game, Fullerton College against Butte College, at Butte College.
Yep.
A long drive and interesting where you set up in the, right
outside
next to
with the fans.
With the fans standing right next to you. But City College of San Francisco seemed to before they kind of changed things around, they were always the Northern California team to go for the championship. And even after they changed things around, they always were a big contender. This year, they're getting their let's be polite. They're getting their heads handed to them because I think they're 0-3.
Yeah,
yes, they're 0-3.
And when I know that they were ranked in soccer because we've done men's and women's soccer in the 3C2A this year. But again, they haven't been the dominant team in the sports that we're accustomed to seeing from them every year. So maybe everybody else has caught up to them.
Yeah, and also I believe their head coach, pretty sure it was, their head coach went to Diablo Valley.
Valley? Okay.
So that makes a difference also. So new coaching at San Francisco, but Butte, always one of the tough teams from the north, and they beat City College San Francisco 30-14. And then Fresno beats American River. American River 1-3. And Mark, they are, I don't think they're a bad team, but Fresno's looking pretty good this year.
Yeah, and American River, another way. You talked about San Francisco. Corey and I did a championship game that American River took on Fullerton, and it seems like American River has not sustained that ability to keep winning. There was supposed to be a Redwoods, Monterey Peninsula. The pigeon hasn't flown in, so therefore we don't know if the game is played or if, they just decided, it's too hot, it's too cold, let's not play.
Or they strapped it to the bunny rabbit, but the coyote came along and ate him. So, we'll find out that score next week. Corey also pointed out this Modesto-San Mateo game. San Mateo, another perennial Northern California team that plays in the state championship. Modesto's looking really good this year. 23-20 win over San Mateo.
Yeah, and Modesto has been good in a variety of different sports, so we look at that. One of the games that's interesting is the next game we'll talk about, Ed. Everybody thought Canyons loses their first game, and everybody says, Canyons is in trouble. This is a bad year. They beat up Fullerton in an ugly, best way to put it, guys. I know you didn't want to hear it, but in an ugly football game against the Hornets. It was worse than ugly? It was worse than ugly is what Corey Neyland is saying behind me. And they beat Palomar. So now they're sitting at 2-1, a team that everybody sort of washed them out of the playoffs in the first week. Palomar now gets beat up. Canyons now is in the hunt for maybe that at-large game, and if they beat Ventura, they could be that champion of that conference. Little surprise. Mount Sac did what Mount Sac always does. Beat the crud out of people.
Yeah, that game at Allen Hancock, 41-19 win. And for Palomar, a loss at home at their brand new facility, which is supposed to be rather nice.
Yeah, we've watched games and watched the commentary from those games. Riverside right now, at the end of the first half, only up over El Camino by 7. Big question is Riverside from the past, or is Riverside another one of these teams? Because COVID, like many of these teams, even Fullerton had players for 3 to 4 years, is not as good as we thought they should be. So that'll be an interesting. Contra Costa and Santa Rosa, that game is canceled. We don't know why, but
I
that's
believe it's canceled because Contra Costa, I don't believe they have a team. I think they had to one of those late, we're not going to field a football team kind of thing. You know, I think the schedules were already set, and everybody had them on their schedules, whoever they were going to play. And then sometime during the summer, after everybody, late summer, they decided, hey, we're not going to field a football team. So that's what I believe happened with them. We have Compton and LA Southwestern. No score on that one. Sacramento City College and Sierra. Sac City, team we used to stream here on SportsNetUSA.net. They're off to a good start this year after some pretty mediocre season. So, a couple more wins for them. They'll be in the playoffs.
And, of course, next week, the Hornets are going to take on Casey Mazzota, used to be defensive coordinator in the old days at Fullerton College. His dad used to be head coach in football at Cerritos College in the old days. We're going over there. We're going to have that Moore Park Mount San Jacinto game. Tonight, Mount San Jacinto beating Moore Park right now 14-3. We'll be out there with SportsNetUSA.net next week. We're going to get a hold of Casey Mazzota and say, hey, Coach, we'll see you out there. And then you look at the Grossmont game. Citrus, once again, is winning 28-7. Guys, I guess maybe they're better than everybody thought they were going to be. They beat up College of the Canyons in the first meeting, that team that won tonight. And then, Ed, another team we do on SportsNetUSA.net, you saw them play Saddleback all over Antelope Valley.
Yeah, the Bobcats, new look. We'll see how they do this year, but they had a little bit of problems with Grossmont. I think they should have won by a larger score, but they're beating Antelope Valley by a score of 21-7, and we'll have the Bobcats on next week along with the Hornets, and I believe I think Santa Ana's also playing. No, Santa Ana isn't playing on the 28th, but it's interesting that I think Antelope Valley is going to be one of those teams when they re-league everything, and some teams go to back to the American, some teams in the American go up to the National. I think Antelope Valley might be one of the ones that go down, or they just want to keep these big league conferences with 8 or 9 teams going. But there are some teams that just really need to move down, Mark. They're not going to win against teams like Mount Sac and the Hornets, and you can name a bunch of other teams, El Camino, ELAC.
We'll see what happens.
So on and so forth.
Yeah, people get moved
they
around.
just need to. They need to go. Some of the teams need to go back to the American Division.
If you're at the 3C2A site, the score is wrong for the Fullerton ELAC game. It's currently right now Fullerton 16, ELAC 3. So that's the score here. We're here from SportsNetUSA.net.
Oh my word!
Bakersfield.
Talking about
road
people,
trip.
Talking about teams that need to move back to the American Division. We're not trying to pick on anybody or be unkind, but San Bernardino Valley just there's no point in them going out each week and getting just
Walloped.
walloped. It's ridiculous. And this is in the third quarter. They're down 58-0. They need to move back to the American Division.
Ed, you look at LA Valley and, of course, Victor Valley, which, Corey and Ryan are a little more familiar with Victor Valley football than I am. And, of course, you may be. The Rams, they're taking on LA Valley tonight. LA Valley's up by 9 over them right now. So is that one of those teams, too, that you might say should move down? Or could?
Well, they're already down, so.
Oh, okay.
Unless
They should move down further?
I'm not saying that.
Close the door? Have a fire sale? We'll see.
Well, I think, the next one coming up, and, it's Long Beach 14, Southwestern 0, and that's coming into the first half of play. You will see Southwestern against the Hornets later on this season, and Southwestern also plays against Saddleback. So chance to see the Jaguars in 2 games, and they've struggled also. When they were an American Division team, they were pretty formidable, but since moving up to the Nationals, they haven't played as well.
And John Van Gaston's having a good time tonight over at Cerritos, the SID at Cerritos, John Van Gaston. And Cody's probably at that game, the head softball coach at Cerritos, as they're beating Ventura by 5. I think this is a surprising score.
Yeah.
I see my other 2 guys over there. Cerritos right now is beating Ventura. Ed and I both think that's a surprising score. They both agree with us, Ed. See, we know what we're talking about as they're sitting behind us just having a great old time on that one. Santa Barbara, who we took care of, you saw them play against Saddleback, right now all over Orange Coast College.
Yeah, OCC is having a hard time, Mark, playing coming back to the National Division. So another team that maybe should move down.
And, of course, one of our other teams that we do here on SportsNetUSA.net with Noah Alvarez.
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised. Not that Glendale isn't a good squad, but they tend to play a little bit better, at home, and they sometimes struggle a little bit to get things going, get leads when they're on the road. And tonight, I should say, at Santa Ana Stadium, Santa Ana Bowl, or Eddie West Field, whichever one you want to call it. I don't know. I think Mark and I would call it Eddie West.
Yeah, I'd call it Eddie West Field.
Yeah.
I'd call it Eddie West. One of the games, too, going on, and we know about them because we just saw them in soccer against the Saddleback women.
Yeah,
Chaffey College. They're all scoring all over Santa Monica. One of my favorite teams because I got to meet Tommy Smith in the old days when we used to go out as a group and do Santa Monica, and met Tommy over there. So I've got a soft spot for Santa Monica just because he was so kind to all of us over there. But Chaffey's got quality sports going on. The women are good over there. Chaffey seems to do everything well. They just don't ever get talked about.
Yeah, they dominate in the American Division football, and I don't think they want to move back up to the National Division. They were in the National Division for 2 seasons and didn't really do that well, but a stellar team in the American Division. They won what would be the Southern California Championship last year, and it's too bad. I know that I've been told that, there was some thought about having an American Division state championship game, and I really don't know why they don't do it, because you could have that one weekend before, the National Division plays their championship game against Northern California, against Southern California. I think it'd be great. Chaffey plays somebody like whoever would be an American, De Anza or somebody like that.
And, of course, then we go back up north. And, again, every time I look at Northern California teams, I'm sorry, I think of softball when I look at them.
Chabot is beating Cabrillo. And Cabrillo had a very good season last year in softball. Of course, they kind of got cheated and didn't get into the playoffs. Got to let those sub-500 teams in there.
And then when we look at the last part of who's played tonight, Desert against Pasadena City, that game is postponed.
Now, I don't have any inkling of why that game was postponed. Maybe it was, yeah, but this year I don't think you'd have unless it was a problem with Desert getting there because of the fires or something like that, or maybe you had a bunch of players that had COVID or something like that. I don't really know, but seems a little odd that that would be canceled. We have no score with Yuba City and Gavilan. And then the last game, Merced against Los Medanos. Merced having a better year this year. And we'll see how they do in the long run.
And that game's still in the first quarter. So we're at half. We're almost getting ready for the second half to start. It's your Fullerton College Hornets 16. When you look over across the way, the ELAC Huskies sitting at 3 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Coming up next week, we got a little Cypress volleyball coming up on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland and myself saw Cypress play the other night. They took care of Fullerton College when the women played against each other. So Cypress has a good women's team. We'll see what that happens. Cypress soccer around the corner. Make sure you watch that. Saddleback College has soccer with us this year and football on SportsNetUSA.net. And, of course, Santa Ana College football with Noah Alvarez here all on SportsNetUSA.net. We're busy.
Busy. Yeah. And hopefully Noah can rally the Dons in the second half of the game tonight and get them a win. They need some wins.
Yeah, well, Hornets are feeling comfortable because ELAC's got their whole team on the field. They're feeling so cocky. They've got 4 players and feeling like they have an opportunity to pull off this game here on Sportsnet.
Well, they really do, Mark, because the Hornets just stunned them in the last, 2 minutes of the game? 2
minutes, yeah.
I mean,
they really did.
The safety and then a touchdown. I mean, ELAC had a chance to go into halftime, as you and Corey were saying, with a score 7-3, very manageable score. And then lightning struck, and the Hornets jump up, get 16-3. That's a lot tougher, especially when you really haven't gotten a lot of offense going. You know, you haven't gotten a touchdown yet.
Yeah,
chances to get them, but
haven't done it. I mean, Ed, what surprised me is my partner Corey Neyland normally is very aggressive when I ask him what he would do as a coach. When ELAC was down there and had an opportunity to score a field goal, Corey said, "I'll just take the points." My attitude was, gee, that's not a Corey Neyland sort of move. Corey Neyland is more of the aggressor that will say, I'll try and score a touchdown, and Mr. Neyland is back on the air with me. Corey, I want to thank Ed Ford for spending halftime with me. Thank you, Ed. It's nice having company as other people are out there just playing. But, Corey, I really do. I have to talk about that. I do think that sort of changed the attitude. I know you're going to disagree with me, but you go for the touchdown. If you don't make it, 3 points, you don't make it. I think you need to be an aggressor in this game.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you on
okay,
that one.
all right.
I stand by that decision because, yeah, you know me. I go for it. You got 4 downs, you use them all.
You always go for it.
You
Yeah,
always
that's your
go for
attitude,
it.
yeah.
But in that case, really thought ELAC had momentum, had that positive drive that they needed, and that 3 points was say, we got points on the board. Let's continue that momentum. Thought it was the right move. And again, they were only down 7-3.
Yeah, and really I'm going to go back to the conversation I had with Brian Crooks. My defense has got to be solid. Check. My offense can't make any mistakes. Check. My special teams, even though you tease me, has to do something special, where you said basically they didn't do anything special, but they did get points on a play. Have done that. I know the coaching staff, you saw Phil, Austin, and you went to talk to Brian, who really didn't want to talk to anybody. He shook our hands, but he wasn't in the mood. He was not happy. Have to feel a little better about what they're seeing?
You're feeling okay about what you're seeing after that first half because you have the lead.
Okay.
So with the two new head coaches, longtime defensive coordinator, special teams, whatever you want all around for the last 15, 20 years for Phil, for Brian, for the last, well, he's just Fullerton, lifetime. You got to feel okay about that first half of play. And if you're Arnie Robles, the interim coach for East LA, 16-3, you're thinking, yeah, we're down. We could have. We should have. We can be in this ball game, and it should be 7-3 coming out to start this second half. That's what's plagued East LA for the last couple years. Even though they went to a bowl game last year, in his first year, we talked to him before the game. He's brought that enthusiasm, that young person attitude. It's like, I just played here in 2016. Now I'm the coach. We won a bowl game when I was here. We won a bowl game last year. Let's continue that momentum. He's got to be thinking, let's just run the course. We can still get back into this ball game.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And I'm going to look at Corey because I'm almost sure that back there is Jared Peters and Bills are going to be back deep for it. Well, right now, if you're a Hornet fan, you're excited. Golden West College lost. It is now an open race going on. San Diego Mesa is the leader. The Hornets need to win to stay with them and have an opportunity to win their conference. Taken at the 5. Looking for an opening. Going to the outside. Gets drugged down from behind, and it looked like for a second there might be an opening. It just didn't happen.
There was an opening, but Gabriel Gonzalez said, no, we're going to close that door real quick. And makes the stop.
16-3 as we start the second half. So your Hornets, and let's give a lot of love to Josiah, because Josiah Jarrett comes out, Corey, hasn't played all season. Hey, guess what? Number 1, number 2 is gone. Take our team and make sure we win. That's basically the attitude of today's game. He has done a very good job there at quarterback, and his confidence is building. Hand it off to the big man. Vakapuna gets a gain up to the 30. I don't know if you have official stats.
I do. 122 yards officially in that first half as a team for the Hornets. And yet they're up 16-3. Not much offense in the last 2 games, under 300 yards so far in a game and a half.
The near side of the field, Xavier Herbert now in as a wide receiver for your Hornets. Near side of the field. Vakapuna off a tackle, drops his shoulder, gain of 2 on the play, brings up a 3rd down and a short 1 for the Hornets at the 34.
Daylon Story with the tackle. You mentioned Josiah Jarrett has 3 completions, 11 attempts for 30 yards, but 2 of those completions went for touchdowns to Michael Vakapuna. Elvis, 2 receptions, 30 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Quentin Underwood in as a wide receiver to the near side of the field for the Hornets. I formation. The Vakapuna gets knocked down by his own guy, turns the corner, gets redirected by his own player, turns the corner and gets a first down. I mean, let's be realistic. Vakapuna said, I'm not supposed to go up the middle. You want me to go to the outside? Okay, I will. First down, Hornets.
Now he's got 13 carries for 73 yards. He's looking to get to that century mark the first time this season for one of the Fullerton backs. Joseph Mendez is the up back in the I.
First down and 10. Right across the 45. I formation. They move. Hand off to Vakapuna. Vakapuna says, I'm feeling good, coach. I'm not even tired. Gains 2. So a running game to start off this second half. And Corey, you sort of said before, this team really needs to establish a run to help their quarterback.
And they are. Nicholas Romero hit Vakapuna at the line of scrimmage, and Elvis still gets 2 yards after that initial hit. Now brings in Justin Honore in the backfield.
Honore, a little more speed than Vakapuna, less bulk, but still a very strong runner for this Hornet team. Second down and 8, just short of the 50. Take it right down there. If you hit the wide receiver over, so they fake the dive play out the middle. Josiah Jarrett rolls out, and Corey, it was about as open as we are at a buffet.
That was the play.
As you looked at Logan Lester saying, just throw it to me, and I got 7.
Yeah, he didn't need to lead him. He just needed to put it on target. And that's one of those first game of the season things where you just can't get that connection. Game number 2 that you start, that's 6.
3rd down and 7. So it was a good chance for the Hornets to break it open. They go back, cross the middle. 1st down, it's going to be a little short. Should be at the line. It'll bring up a 4th. Okay, now I'm putting you on the spot. You punt it or go for it? They're going to punt it, I believe. You like this call?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like you don't want your young quarterback. You don't want those mistakes if you don't get it. You don't want the chance not to get the 1st down on 4th and 1. Your defense is playing well, and it looks like Khalid Johnson is back deep for them.
So Johnson back for the Huskies. Lots of time. Big kick. Looking for that foot. It goes into the end zone for a touchback. With 11:35 to go, it's the Hornets 16. The Huskies 3 here on sports@usa.back. Let's go to stats.
And Mark, officially, only Zach Camarena and Tramel Isaacs made tackles.
For the Hornets?
No, I'm kidding. There we go.
Oh,
no,
for the
East
Huskies?
LA on defense.
Okay.
Zach Camarena had 5 tackles. Tramel Isaacs had 2. Roberto Caballos had 5 tackles in that first half. We'll look at the offense for East LA as Anderson is back.
Yeah, I was looking at that, Corey. So he comes back out, so you're sort of wondering if maybe their starting quarterback has an injury that nobody will tell us about. 1st down and 10 for the Husky. Anderson drops it off. Defense is there on the running play, and Corey, they are swarming now on the defensive side, closing down all doors for any opening for a running back.
And that's Zuniga in the backfield. Zuniga did a nice job. That's his 3rd tackle for loss, 2.5 for the season. Chris Harvey was there to help. You talk about Dante Bell, Mark. He was 5 of 11 in the first half. 5 of 12 in the first half for only 11 yards. Brandon Herron had 8 carries for 27. And Tanner Anderson, 4 for 19. Again, they had a 64-yard touchdown run
Taken
called
away.
back.
Yeah. Herron's in the backfield. Anderson at quarterback. Big 2nd down and 11 for Elac. Going to take it again. Stopped for a loss on the play. And Corey, we see them trying to establish a run so that they can give their quarterback an opportunity to fake that dive play, maybe find a receiver open. But it has not happened here on sportsnetusa.net.
Ethan Charpentier led the way in tackles, a middle backer for the Hornets. 7 tackles in the first half of play. That tackle for loss was by Chef Boyd. Chaffon's got 3.5 tackles for on the season. 3.5 tackles for loss on the season.
3rd down and 13 now. Take it around the corner. There's a hold on the corner, not called. And, I mean, there's nothing like being a defensive player, Corey, and you're Sean Matcom on the corner. Is it Metcalf?
Malcolm.
Okay, it looked like a T. Sean Malcolm, excuse me, on the corner. And you're getting turned sideways in front of the line judge, and he's not throwing a flag. 4th down. So, once again, the Hornets are going to get the ball back. Kavion Bills is back deep. He's going to stand at the 45, just across the 50. Bills will have an opportunity to maybe touch it. No pressure. Bills going to come up. Decides get away, get away, get away, get away. Ball bounces. Bill takes it, gets down at the 48. 1st down and 10 for the Hornets. 9 minutes and 8 seconds to go here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Officials for tonight's ball game. Referee is George Arredondo. Umpire is Edmund Brooks. Head linesman Mike Estes. Line judge is Andy Parker. Back judge Fred Gravitt. Field judge is Amira Leonard. And the side judge tonight is Darnell Anderson.
They've done a good job out there this night. Josiah Jarrett comes back out at quarterback. Having a decent game for the situation he's been thrown into. See what they can do. He gets flattened. The ball comes out, and that's a turnover that ELAC may need.
And Leonard puts the hit. They're not going to call it an incomplete pass, or it should be a fumble. Zach Camareno comes up with it. And they're going to call a fumble. Arm wasn't moving forward.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely a fumble.
And again, this is where the experience shows, because Josiah should have gone out to the flat with Jared Peters. As soon as he planted his back foot, he needs to get that out to the side. Whether it's incomplete or you pick up no yardage or pick up big yardage, you have to get the ball out of your hands. But that hesitation caused the sack, the fumble, and the turnover. That's one of the things you talked to the Fullerton coaches this week said, we don't need.
Yeah, and so ELAC looking to maybe answer this. Down by 13. This would be a huge opportunity to score for the Huskies.
First forced fumble by Story this season. First fumble recovery by Camarena this season. And Larry Thomas runs off and trots off under his own power. And that's the third fumble by a Fullerton quarterback, I believe, in these last two games.
Yep, it has been. So, first down and 10, right at the 46 for your Huskies.
Now we see if the Huskies can take advantage of it.
Yep, we'll see if they can.
Now, I'll throw it to you, Mark. Normally, you get a turnover. They're pushing the ball down the field, right?
Yeah. I'm going to fake the dive play. I'm going deep. I'm going to look at Michael Anderson and say, baby, throw it. I'm going to take my chances on you. Tanner Anderson is the running back. I love the way this young man runs back there. So it's Anderson and Anderson. The law firm is in the backfield. They hand it off to Tanner. Tanner gets taken down for a 4-yard loss.
And there's Zuniga again in the backfield. That's sack number 2 for him on the season. That's not sack number 1. Not sack, but tackle for loss, 2.5.
So loss on the play. It's going to bring up a second down and 14. They look over the sidelines, trying to get on track. If they get a touchdown, they're back in this game. They're only trailing by 13. If you're a Huskies fan, all you need is that one big play. Let's see if they can get it here on this play. Anderson goes. Ball gets dropped. Throws it up into the middle of nowhere, and that's where it comes down. So a mishandle on the snap.
And have you noticed the Husky quarterbacks have taken their eyes off the snap, off the ball as it's coming to them, looking around where the rush is coming from, where the receivers are going?
Yeah, I have, yeah. Their head's moving. They're looking to see where everybody's going to be at.
And we're getting a new quarterback for the Huskies mid-series, Sebastian Lopez now, 5'11" from Nogales High School.
So Lopez comes in. Hopefully he's warmed up.
Doesn't
Third
matter.
down and 14. You don't care, right?
It doesn't matter. Let's see what the Noble has for you.
Okay. Third down and 14 at the 50. Lopez at quarterback. Anderson at running back. Lopez rolls out in his zone, and Lopez says, wait a minute, who are these guys in the white jerseys?
He said, you're not Tanner. Where'd Tanner go?
That's it.
Chris Harvey in the backfield for another tackle for loss. And, Mark, I was going to say this is a 4-down series for East LA because they pick up the turnover. But, again, they started at Fullerton's 46. They're ending at their own 46.
Yeah. Hey. It's just a mere start and finish. Same numbers, just a different location. Hornets coming. Don't touch the kicker. Get out of the way of the ball. They're going to let it roll, roll, roll. If you're a Hornets, you'll take that all the way down to the 21.
And it's interesting, the officials are letting a lot of things go. There was a definite hold in the backfield on East LA, but they let that go, and a good roll at the 21. Now Fullerton's offense, you got Elvis. Let's get 100 yards rushing. You got Jared Peters. Let's get him going. You got Justin Honore. Let's get him going.
So Corey Neyland's picked all his candidates. First down and 10 for the Hornets at the 21. Looks like, I think Peters is now in at running back for the Hornets. So Peters out of Hazelwood Central at running back. They hand it to him. He sneaks his way through the hole, gives a little forearm shiv, and ball comes out.
And it looked like East LA has it again. Jared
They
Peters.
do. So back-to-back turnovers, flag on the field.
And Mark, after a positive run, 7 yards, he tries to get more. And Larry Thomas, who was injured last possession, gets the fumble recovery here.
And what's the flag? Because if it's against the Hornets, that puts the Huskies in an ideal position. It looks like, I think it's going to be against the Hornets, Corey. Dead ball, personal foul against the Hornets. And that was on the far side of the field is where the flag came from.
And I was just about to say the high school in Missouri has been good to Fullerton, bringing up, and I don't know, was Kadari and Casillas, did they go to Hazelwood Central as well, or were they from Illinois? I keep forgetting. I'll have to go back
I don't
in the
know.
archives.
You'd have to ask the younger guy down the hallway here.
That's true. We'll ask Ryan after the game.
Yeah. So, wonderful. Again, the defense steps up for the Huskies. You're a Husky fan. You're elated. Your team's playing good. Now they need to find an answer. Lopez stays in at quarterback. Anderson at running back. First down and 10 for the Huskies, right at the 15-yard line. They hand it off to Anderson. No, Lopez takes it himself. Touchdown, no. Ball comes out. It's Hornets football. They're going to call him, they call it a touchback. I thought for a second they were going to call it down, and Corey Lopez drops it. It goes in the end zone on a great fake and run by him. He fooled me. I figured they were going to Anderson for sure, and he takes it himself. It is a touchback in favor of the Hornets.
What happens is Lopez scoots around 20 yards. You see the soccer field where the goalie, that yellow line, would start. That's where the ball pops out of his hands and gets into the end zone. If that does not happen, he's got 6 points. ELAC's got momentum and what they needed to get back into this ball game. That's tough.
It's been a tough game for them so far. Honore and Vakapuna back in at running back. So, turnovers to turnovers. If you're a Husky fan, you've got to say, hey, let's hold on to one. Honore gets through the hole, crawls through, gets a gain of 6 on the play with 6:54 to go. The Huskies have played good football. They've had opportunities with a couple miscues. If those miscues don't happen, your Huskies are in this game. They still are. They're only down by 13. You've got to stay positive as a fan. And the offensive line moves, says, we're going somewhere, aren't we? That's going to move them back 5 yards.
Put your right arm in. Put your right arm out. I mean, Mark, you said it last week. 2 yards, positive play. 2 yards, positive play. 8 yards negative.
Yeah.
That was the game last week.
And if you're a Husky fan, right now you can say we relate to that. We get a great fumble opportunity. We make a play that should get us in the end zone. We fumble it. 2nd down and 9 instead of 2nd down and 4. They run it to the big man, straight up the middle. They're nothing.
And that player that we mentioned that was from Hazelwood in Missouri that Jared Peters went to, that was Jordan Tate, wide receiver. Let's see if we have a Jordan Tate type of play here and get the ball down the field and get a connection.
So we'll see what happens. The Huskies have an opportunity. 5:42 to go. They're only trailing by 13. And Corey, if you're a Hornet fan, you can't feel comfortable right now. This is one play away from the Huskies to be there. Josiah Jarrett needs to put the ball in his receiver's hand. They run it straight up the middle, trying to stop the big guy who gets out to the 30, gives them breathing room. They find a little oxygen, and that should be enough to at least give you a chance to punt it away.
And he's about 85 yards on the game, is Elvis. It's one of those things that you saw the one play with Elvis and Justin in the backfield. You know,
They
maybe
haven't
we
brought
see-
that back.
Yeah,
have
let's
they?
see it again. Or can we get some option runs?
Yeah.
And that is Khalik Johnson back deep.
Johnson will stand at the 40. No pressure. High floater. Johnson signals for a fair catch. Almost loses it in the shadows, but doesn't. Maintains it. So the Huskies have an opportunity with 4:26 to go. They didn't give up any points. Corey Neyland, I'm feeling good if I'm a Husky fan. I've got an opportunity.
No.
You don't?
You know, you don't feel good. You see you have some light, you've got some hope, but you're not feeling good because you're thinking it should be 16-10. We get the ball back. And Ed Ford, I like that repartee over there because that was Mark last week. That back and forth. Yeah.
Who was I in the repartee? Was I the lead actor in the repartee?
Yes, you
was I?
were.
Okay, all right. As long as I had the lead, I'm happy with it.
Lopez is back at quarterback.
So Lopez comes back in. Anderson still at running back. Tanner. I hand it off to Tanner right about now. Let him break one for me. Here they come. Throw it over to this side. Quick catch. Knocked out of bounds. They're going to say a stop of his forward progress was where? They're going to mark it at the 38.
Yeah, they're going to say he regained, and that was Victor Rodriguez, regained his momentum because it should be at the 40, but they bring it back to the 38.
Yeah.
Lopez, 2 positive play. Well, he had the best play before the fumble on that last run, and here's a good pass here on the outside.
White comes in near side of the field. Anderson steps back up. 2nd down and 8 for the Huskies. Right across the 36. Fullerton's going back. Rodriguez goes from left to right. They hand it this side. Right there. Defensive line holds on for a second. You squirm through the hole. You pick up a yard and a half.
Giovanni Welch was there. Caleb Smith also on the play. Cleaning up is Thaddeus Justin Jones, the corner. 14 is Gavin Stewart, the safety. Antoine Johnson is the other safety, number 16. Here comes Derek Bermudez. Excuse me, that's not Derek Bermudez. That's going to be Tamar Fairman, the near side corner, number 26. We'll get the other defensive people in a moment.
3rd down and 5. Lopez stays in a quarterback. Anderson stays in a running back. Anderson slithered through the hole that time for a positive game. Maybe a quick pitch to Anderson coming around the hop. He can run. That's the thing. Don't overplay the run. Corey says they're going to be throwing it. We get motion. Delay of game, Ed Ford says down at the end of the room. So Ed gives us that signal. I thought Ed was saying it's time to change the pitcher. I saw him go to his right arm saying, bring in the righty on this. He's thinking softball already down there here on SportsNetUSA.net. Penalty that moves them back. And, Corey, both these teams now are not playing solid here in the second half.
You could have run on third down, then make it a 4th and short. If you don't make it on third, you could have gone for it. Here you have to put the ball in the air.
Lopez looks things over. Here come the Hornets. Go there. Converged after he catches the ball. And Victor Rodriguez catches it, turns, and he's got 4 Hornets waiting for him. And, Corey, there's a Hornet down on the ground.
And it looks like Mohamed Hasuna is down, and he's just coming back from injury, trying to play himself back in. And he's down one more time. Let's hope the young man is okay, because he's had a tough offseason. And he was one of those promising guys from last year coming back to really solidify the defensive side of the ball. And the young man, that is tough for Mohamed.
It's interesting when you look at this right now, because 6:40 to go in the third quarter. You really haven't sustained anything. You've gotten turnovers. Then you give up the ball and everything. When do you become a little more daring? When you get the midfield and say, okay, let's go for it. It's 4th down and possible. Do you do that in the third? Do you wait till the fourth quarter?
Well, with 2:29 left in the third, I'm going to say you're going to wait till the fourth quarter. And that way,
Okay.
if it was 4th and 1, you'd seriously think about going for it because of what Lopez brings to the table. Okay, because of that run on the outside he had just before he coughed it up at the half-yard line. Kavion back deep.
So Bills, every once in a while, looks like he can break one. This is the other thing that they're looking for, somebody who can give me some yardage.
He's got a little bit of key on Lee to him.
Well, we'll see if he can show us that on this play. Only up by 13 with 2:20 to go here in the third quarter. Lots of pressure up the middle. Are they going to get there in time? They don't. We get a hold on the play. Corey Neyland says against Elac right in the middle of the line, and there was pressure coming.
And that's where you were going to see the block punt mark. It was an excellent hold by East Los Angeles, because if they don't hold, that's a blocked punt.
Do you make him kick over? Move him back 10, make him kick over?
Yeah, if you move him back 10, yeah, I would.
And the Hornets decide, no, we got the ball. Let's take no chance.
Well, honestly, you know what? That is a good decision, because the way the game's been going in the last 2 games for Fullerton, we'll make them re-kick. They're not going to hold, but we're going to rough the kicker.
Oh, okay. I see your thinking. We're going to make a mistake, and we're going to give him the ball back. So the Hornets looking to do something. Just an honor. Back in at running back. This is another one that you feel like if he gets there to the right place, they run him to the outside. Turns the corner, gets taken down on a big hit at the 40. And he is down, I believe.
And he pops back up.
Okay.
But that's a dangerous play, lowering your head down like that.
So gain of a long 1. It's a 2nd down and 9 with 1:46 to go. Up by 13 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Don't forget Cypress Volleyball next week. Mr. Neyland and I will be there here on SportsNetUSA.net. Big 2nd down coming. Joshua Jarrett managing the game well. Straight up the middle. Off a right tackle. Gain of a yard, maybe 2. They're going to give him just 1. It's going to be a 3rd down and a difficult amount of yardage.
And I was going to say, now do you put the ball in Josiah's hands right now?
I do. I've got, you know what? You've got 2 quarterbacks that are hurt. They probably aren't going to come back this season. Eventually, I've got to tell him, I trust you. If he throws a pick, he throws a pick. We saw that last week. So let's, have trust in him. They run straight up the middle. They do nothing. It's 4th down. Once again, there's a flag. Now, okay.
Let's talk about the play first.
Yeah, they run a dive play straight up the middle.
Zach Camarena again lays the lumber on Justin Honore, and Justin gets up slowly as he goes back. Great play by Zach. Now let's talk about the extracurricular activities.
A Hornet gets knocked down. The flag comes out. Then they start wrestling. Then a Hornet does something. Another flag comes out.
Actually, Mark, it was
No, it wasn't.
It was Hornet, East LA Hornet.
No, it was East LA Hornet.
You see, and that's
No, it was East LA Hornet.
It should be offsetting. It really should.
But it was no. I'm not saying it shouldn't, because the retaliation was the Hornets. So I thought it was going to be offsetting flags.
No, I thought it was third. I thought the Hornets got in there first, right when the hit was made, because East LA was celebrating and came pushed off.
What they're calling was down here, Corey, away from the play.
Yeah, that's what they're calling, but there was action in the middle of the play.
Yeah, there was, but that's what they're calling.
Yeah.
So I thought it was going to be offsetting penalties too. But the Hornets get a break that will help them with 29 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
So no home cooking for the Huskies.
That's it. First down and 10 at the 42. Run it to Vakapuna. He goes deep. Vakapuna makes the cut, goes behind his block, staggers towards the middle of the field, gets all the way down to the 30. He got to be close to a century.
He is close to a century. Oh, you want specifics? He's got 96.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
He's got 96 yards on the ground, 2 receptions through the air as we end the third.
So as we come to the end of the third period, it's the Hornets 16, the Huskies 3 on Sportsnet, USA.net. Man, I'm close to a century. But Vakapuna's a lot closer than I am.
Yeah, that is true.
If I got to walk those stairs one more time, I won't feel like Vakapuna.
Because you're past the century mark, so
Oh,
you're close
wow.
to it.
Wow.
I got to get you back. You went over the scores earlier.
We did, but if we've got any finals in, let's find out who did what.
You talked about Modesto San Mateo
Yep.
earlier. Riverside, 21-17 over El Camino.
Yep. Golden West College lost, so that opens up things.
San Diego Mesa beats them. Saddleback 28-7 in the third quarter over Antelope Valley. Bakersfield and San Bernardino Valley. I heard you guys talking about that as well.
Ed says it's time to take San Bernardino and,
It dropped them back down to the American Division, yes.
Ed said enough's enough.
Yeah, you got to bring somebody back up. Long Beach over Southwestern. Long Beach has another score.
That's another team that's ready to move on down, Southwestern.
21-7, they're down. Ventura's now taken the lead over Cerritos, 20-19. 10:53 to play in the third.
Cerritos has played well.
Yeah. Santa Barbara 16-0 over Orange Coast. And Santa Ana got on the board, guys, 14-9. So I guess Noah, like you said, is working his magic down there for the Dons.
I think Noah just did what I normally do. Call a touchdown, they put it on the board.
Yeah, the Gladiators had the lead against Cabrillo. Now they're down 21-16 up north.
So we start the fourth. Your Hornets up by 13. They need one more. Vakapuna says, get off me. And you know what? The defense from the Huskies said, no, we're just a lot tougher. Corey, you know what? It's 13-3. The Huskies have played good defensive football against this Hornet team. I know there's injuries for the Hornets. I know they're playing a third-string quarterback, but they are playing good football. If you're a Huskies fan, you got to like what you're seeing.
Tramel Isaacs, that's his third tackle for loss of the game. So he's lived in the backfield, him and Camarena.
Second down and 12. Hornets sticking with the run. We'll see if they do. They stick with the run. Round the corner, all the way back to the 30-yard line.
Graylin Kelly, new backs, 5'9", 200 pounds. Cinco Ranch High School in Katy, Texas. Gets his first carry of the season. And, remember when Fullerton had those All-American tight ends? I miss them. I really miss the tight end the last few years.
Tight end? What's that? Does he play out here on the edge and receive a football? Run straight up the middle. Who are you going to run it with? Is it going to get down in there? All the way down, drugged down at the 8. You go straight up the middle with Elvis, And Corey Neyland, I mean, he hit the hole with speed for a big guy, and once he got through, he wasn't going to be denied.
As they say, he hit it with alacrity and kept on moving, and we really thought he was going to score after he picks up 22 yards. Now he's securely up to Mark Pavlovich's age, 112 yards. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm getting older every second up here.
But like you said it, positive movements, and this is what you were expecting all last week. You're finally getting it today.
Yeah, I really was. I thought they were going to do something like that. They finally have.
When's the last time you seen an I formation?
Earlier today, but not that regular. But I like the fact, Corey, they've run from a T formation. They've run from an I formation.
That pro set offense.
Yep. We're going to get timeout. Huskies here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
And I wanted to bring up something about East LA because they're celebrating their 50th year for their state football championships in 1974. Reading up some research about it, when Fullerton came out in their offense with Josiah, Elvis, and Justin on each side, it kind of reminded you of that veer kind of offense, that triple option kind of offense. And that's what East LA did in 74 with what Al Padilla was the head coach. And they came up and they won the state championship. Well, when you have Lynn Kane, I saw that name. I said, Lynn Kane, Atlanta. William Andrews, Lynn Kane, USC. And that's one of those guys who played well for that team. So it kind of takes you back a little bit, and especially with East LA lore, when they won that championship in 1974. But they had a quality team. Lynn Kane, Walt Ransom, Kenny Pierce, who played in NFL. I mean, there was quality. Kerry Justin, who played in NFL.
Yeah.
Mike Davis, who was a Raider for a long time.
I was going to say, everybody should know, especially in this town, they should know who he is. First and goal for the Hornets at the 8. Ball went out.
Now that could have been a penalty right there because Josiah was down on the ground. But again, they keep it and the flag's in their pockets, and he gets up slow one more time. But he gets stepped on by the left guard as he was pulling.
And I like the fact with 13:10 to go that you don't have flag-happy referees. Give them a lot of credit, Corey. Like you said, they could have thrown a flag. They didn't. Loss on that. It's going to be second and goal from the 10.
Let's do it to the other side.
Yeah. And, of course, they come in with new running backs. So you got Vakapuna on the sideline. Peters is now in the game. So we'll see if Jared can do something. A little motion. They hand it off. Stutter step for Jared. Goes straight up the middle. Gets across the 5. Flag on the play. Far side of the field. So as soon as I say thank you for not throwing flags, with 12:30 to go, one comes out.
Offsides or illegal shift? Or
I'm
illegal formation?
I'm going to say illegal formation against the Hornets.
After a good positive run, would have picked up the first down. Let's see what the call is.
Well, I thought it was second and goal. Sticks are down.
Oh, that's right. They
got moved back.
Offsides,
So,
okay.
yeah. So,
I forgot about the first down play.
Yeah.
So it was offside.
That's interesting. So it's going to move it 5 yards. They will get another opportunity, and they're just closer.
So they get that yardage they lost back.
Yes. Starting all over again.
See, that's why I like football is a simple game.
It is.
Simple minds can then follow it. Yay.
Well, most of the time. So the Hornets could feel comfortable if they can get a touchdown. A big if they can. Second and goal from the 5. They line up quickly. Elak looking to do things. Hand it the outside. Need a lead block. Turn the corner. You need to get in. Should be touchdown over the pylon. No. Touchdown, Hornets. Corey Neyland, I thought he stepped over where the pylon is, and that's a touchdown.
I thought he stepped out of bounds right before the touchdown. Regardless, first touchdown of the season for Jared Peters, and more extracurriculars out there on the field.
Well, I think what we're going to do is get unsportsmanlike conduct because there was conversation with the official, and then the official threw a flag. So that's a possibility for that to happen here on SportsNetUSA.net. It was unsportsmanlike conduct.
Way too much talk on the field.
Yeah. So with 11:59 to go, and we have an ejection? We do. We have an ejection.
Tramel Isaacs, who's had an outstanding game on defense, gets ejected from the game. Arnie Robles is not happy.
So the white hat turned around, pointed at him, and said sidelines. And so it must be something that was said because, Corey, there was already conversation on the sideline. And it might be that they thought what you thought. You thought he didn't get into the end zone. They might have thought the same thing and said, hey, ref, come on. He didn't make it into the end zone. I don't think you saw it right. Excuse me, sir. I think you might have made a mistake. If I was in my math class, my educators, my coaches would give me an opportunity. I'm just asking you, please don't let me fail.
So
Sure, it was a nice conversation like that.
He gets kicked out with 9 tackles this evening.
Wow.
2 tackles for loss.
So the Hornets, with 11:59 to go, have an opportunity to be up by 20. The kick is up, and the kick is good. With 11:59 to go here in the fourth quarter, well, they do. It's the Hornets 23, the Huskies 3, here on SportsNetUSA.net.
And unlike water polo, Mark, when you get excluded in football, you can't come back.
Yeah.
At least not for this game.
Corey, the old guy, Ed Ford, here on SportsNetUSA.net for your Fullerton College Hornets. And down on the elect side, Albert Robles, Ryan Osborne, and Ed Ford here on SportsNetUSA.net. You didn't know that Ed Ford is actually like an amoeba, that he can split himself in half, and there's 2 of them at the same time.
I thought you meant like a defense.
Oh, okay.
And the happiest person of all, Gabby's down in the stands amongst the people, and there's a dog down there.
Oh, okay. Gabby Neyland took a ride with us. So the Hornets have done what they have wanted to. The Hornets get the penalty on the unsportsmanlike conduct, meaning they will kick off from the 50 with 11:59 to go here on SportsNetUSA.net. Feeling chippy, needing a game to come back in because next week they go to Mount San Jacinto. Casey Mazzota used to be the defense coordinator here at Fullerton College. Always came on at the end of the game. When the Hornets were winning, Casey would go in a cover 2 every game. Casey, why do you go in cover 2? Well, oh, no, that protects us from them going deep. Okay, all right, okay. Pooch kick, middle of the field. Ball's going to go. Hornets come up with it, caught. He's in. That should be a Fullerton ball.
And that is either no, that's not Quentin Henry. That is Fred Adams, number 22. We haven't seen that work since 2008. And Fullerton used to be famous for that type of kick under Tim Burns.
So Brian Crooks and Phil Austin got to be smiling because everything they said they needed to do in this game.
Now, Mark, that's a special team play.
Yeah, in this game, they have done that. And Corey Neyland, I thought for a second they're coming out with their 2 running backs again back there.
Elvis and Graylin Kelly in the backfield.
And we get timeout by East LA. with 11:59 to go here on Sportsnet USA. Any last finals that you got for us here on Sportsnet USA.net?
No, but you remember that close game, Riverside and El Camino?
Yes.
3:49 to play in the third. Riverside 49, El Camino 24.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not close. Citrus still putting on Grossmont. Moore Park is hanging with San Jacinto,
That's interesting.
22 to 16. So another score here. Saddleback 35-15 over Antelope Valley.
Yeah. Well, I had somebody that just came over and made a comment about the play, is what I was looking at. So here's the other thing, too, when you look at it, Corey, and you look at the end of that. Victor Valley, Ed and I were talking about Victor Valley and LA Valley. LA Valley gets a lot better than people want them to. Long Beach coming away with, looks like a victory over Southwestern. Big play.
Ventura to 36-25 now over Cerritos.
So Elvis back in as they run basically a running back option with Elvis as the individual. Elvis keeps it straight up the middle. Stays on his feet. Touchdown, Fullerton College. Elvis Vakapuna gets touchdown number 3 tonight.
And you can firmly say he's the player of the game for the Hornets and the player of the game today because he's well over 100 yards rushing. I believe that's unofficially 125 yards. I like those easy numbers.
Okay.
1 touchdown on the ground, 2 catches, 30 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air.
So Vakapuna, and Corey, we heard it from everybody. We need to establish a run. They did that this night against the Huskies. Kick is up. Kick is good. So with 11:52 to go, it's the Hornets 30, the Huskies 3 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Corey, Ed, the old guy here calling the game, and the Hornets bounced back from adversity. So it's a youthful team. Brian Crook said to me in last week's game, when things started to crumble, everybody went, uh-oh, now what do we do? Now what do we do? You have a game like this after it, Corey. You've played enough sports. You've coached enough sports. Mindset, what's it do to a young player?
It gives the players are going to be happy. We got this. We're going to get this victory. The players are happy.
Coaches are happy.
No.
Oh, okay.
Coaches are happy are better.
Okay.
Because this still hasn't been the most crispiest.
Okay. All right. Okay.
It hasn't been the crispest game that you've played, but you got the victory, so you can move forward with that in a positive light. So that's the way, at least what it seems up here.
And again, you now have a third-string quarterback that you've got to work on because you know competition's going to get tougher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But the Hornets for tonight, so far up by 27 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Bouncing along. Looking good in most cases.
Tanner Anderson, Mark.
Trying to make something. And Corey, the one thing, let's go back to the run that was taken away from the Huskies. Different, you know me, I'm always looking at the glass being half full. I think it's a different game if that play does not get called back. It changes the tone of the game. The Huskies know they can run against the Hornets, and that play just sort of took the air out of part of the balloon where they weren't getting that play that they could run.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate it happened at that time because they were just gathering their momentum after a decent and a defensive stop.
So it happened to the Huskies early in the game, and after that it just didn't seem like they could get back on track. Taking it out the outside, trying to, and this is where now, if you're a defensive team, make your clean tackles. Don't try and, get that shot that everybody can go, ooh, wow, when you see that shot.
And that was Razan Parker, who was there initially, didn't make the stop, but cleaned up by Perry Williams IV. And it's not like East LA, hasn't had that talent come through their ranks, because they've had a couple Huskies, get signed to professional contracts. We saw to Gabriel Floyd last year. After that season, signed with the UFL Michigan Panthers. Jeremiah Jackson Trotter, who we saw a few years ago, signed with the Edmonton Elks in the CFL. So one of those things where they have talent.
Lopez going to keep it again. Turns the corner, and Lopez goes down, back in the backfield. Corey, I want to know if it's a miscommunication on the play.
Yes.
Because he turned around to hand it off, and it was like he looked. You could see him look for the running back, and there was nobody to give it to. He tried to do his best, but unfortunately, too many Hornets there waiting for him.
Yeah, the problem was Christopher Harvey was the nearest guy, and he's a Hornet. He's 6'5" and a defensive end.
So 10-29. Third down and 15. Lopez at quarterback. Staying there. Running back, William Dorsey in the backfield now. Was the up back? Everybody's talking to each other, trying to get on the same page. Clock is ticking, 10 minutes to go. Hornets 30, Huskies 3 here on SportsNetUSA.net. We're going to get delay of game.
So while we have that, safeties for the Hornets is Samaje Shepard, number 37 in white. Also Perry Williams IV. We see Giovanni Welch, number 23 in white with the blue numbers. Near side corner, we have Tamar Fairman. Far side corner is going to be Fred Adams, who came up with that not onside kick, but the pooch kick.
So third down and a lot of yards. Once again, quarterback running, looking to go over the middle. Incomplete. So it's going to bring up a fourth down.
And simply no time to throw the ball, being chased down by a new backer out there, Jalen Hanford.
So Bills comes back out. He'll stand at the 50. You're waiting for Kavion to try and rip one off to end up doing, and for him, make the feel like the night. The thing that's been nice about him being back there, Corey, he's been very sure-handed when he's needed to be, and he's been a great director of traffic depending on where the punts have come down at, which is what you need for that back who's trying to receive a punt at the time. High snap, kick is off, Bills. Says get away from it. He was going to try and catch it. Once again, that's what I talk about, him directing traffic. Couldn't catch it. He told everybody else, stay away from it, and it dies at the 40-40. Flag on the play?
There was a flag on the play. We'll see if they pick it up or not. And it's a holding against the Hornets.
So, of course, when we talk about as happy as you are, one thing Brian Crooks will tell you at the end of all these games, there were a lot of mistakes that we need to clean up. You know, you never get a coach, no matter which team it is. Could be the Huskies of ELAC or the Hornets of FCC. They're never going to be happy with what they have seen. Either it's a victory or a loss. They're always going to tell you, hey, we got a lot to work on. First down and 10 for the Hornets. Straight up the middle. Once again, they run a two-back option. And, Corey, you know, that could be a play that the Hornets might stick with right now, even when their other quarterbacks get healthy and come back.
More flags.
9:20 to go. Timeout on the field, and this is the part of the time that Corey Neyland says, please, don't throw any flags. Keep the clock running.
And it looks like that was another unsportsmanlike conduct call
Against the Huskies.
So you talked about the balloon mark. It is busted. The air is coming out, and then with 9:20 to play and 30-3, run out the clock and let's just get out of here. Both teams.
We get a little motion on the play court. He says, yeah, let's get out of here. Joseph Mendez is now in the backfield for the Hornets out of Mission Viejo High School. So Joseph is out there with Jared Peters. So Jared Peters basically is the running back that takes the snap. Mendez should be his blocking back. First down and a little. Peters looks to go to the outside. It's got the speed. Gets hit. Gets up to the 20. Scrum keeps him going. Peters stumbles backwards all the way down to the 15. If he's there, it moves the chains. Flags come out. And Corey Neyland, helmet gets ripped off. Peters had his helmet ripped off. And this is where now you will say, Ed Ford will say, we don't need chippiness on the field at this stage of the game.
As I get older, my spirit of competition has lessened. It gets too chippy. Let's go home.
Yeah, and we've seen that where they'll run the clock and just say that's it. Unsportsmanlike against the Hornets. So we're going to move them back.
And that's unnecessary. That's not smart.
So that's going to move it all the way back. We're going to get timeout by the officials.
And remember when this game was running smooth?
Yes, I do. I remember when we were, this game was going about as fast as you on the freeway.
Yes, it was. And now, well,
it's a discussion by the officials. And, I mean, this is where the officials might be saying to each other, okay, the white hat might have pulled him in, for instance, for now on, if this happens, we eject people. We just start saying to people, you're out. And realize if you get ejected, you're out the next game. And they're going to have conversations with the head coaches from both teams and let them know. Not saying that is what's happening right now. I'm just saying from a speculation point of view, what it's looking like is the conversation is going on because now we got unsportsmanlike, then we get another play unsportsmanlike. And Corey, the last thing we want, because we've been there, is to see both teams get so upset. The next thing we know, people are pouring out of the grandstands trying to get down to the field because the players aren't hugging each other.
Well, I think they should just think of me and say, I'm ready to go home. Getting kind of hungry. All this stupidity on the field.
So
let's just go ahead and end it.
We're gonna invoke the Corey Neyland rule. Should I tap on the glass and let him know? Here, wait a minute.
That is the last chapter of home cooking. When to wrap it up.
They saw me, so I tapped on the glass. So they should keep running the clock. And this is to where, okay, we've discussed this in high school. I have no problem of this in college. When it gets to that point, I'm going to look at both coaches and tell them, not ask them, it's going to be a running clock. I'm letting you know that now because I'm a little tired of the shenanigans on the field. And that's what I would let them know. I'm running the clock. I don't care. I'm not going to put up with it as an official. And if you don't like it, call my boss when the game's over. Because, I know the team that's losing is upset. We as fans don't like to see when our team's not playing well. And we get upset. And the teams that are winning sometimes like to, even like we still do, make fun of other people. We all have emotions. We all have feelings. And that needs to be considered when you look what's going on. So it's a first down and 15 for the Hornets. Right at the 31. 8:52 to go. Both teams have been talked to. Wind the clock. 30-3. You're on Sportsnet, USA.net. Peters takes it, goes up, goes the outside, dances the outside, stays on his feet, goes out of bounds.
And there's another injured player on the field. That's DeLon Story.
And they should say to him, you have to go to the sidelines, right, if you're hurt? Yeah. Good, they did. Want to make sure the safety of the player is considered. Yeah. None of these players should be out there and get hurt.
And Brody Melling checks in for him.
First down and 10 for the Hornets. At the 16-yard line, 8:34. Peters gets tackled in the backfield. Loss of play. Loss of 2 on the play. It's going to bring up a second down for the Hornets.
And Jahari Woolley. I mean, again, he know where to go. Time is a ticking. And that's Mendez in the backfield with Peters one more time. And the offensive line has had a bounce-back game as well.
They have. They have played well. They have held their blocks. They haven't gotten a lot of penalties for what they have done. 7:44 to go. Peters looks things over. Trying to run the clock. Peters keeps it himself. Goes up the middle. Sidestep. Stays on his feet. Touchdown, Peters. So Jared Peters gets on the board for the Hornets with 7:30 to go here in the fourth quarter. Well, everybody asked about the running attack last week, where the running attack was last week.
And the week before that.
It was non-existent. Corey, they stayed with it tonight.
Out of necessity.
Yeah, out of necessity. But they didn't give up on it either when, on a couple plays, they weren't moving the ball. At the beginning of the game, it wasn't working. Mm-hmm. You know, they didn't say, oh, we need to look at our young guy that's in there now. Hey, throw. And when he did, he wasn't connecting. They went back to what they thought should be reliable here for the Fullerton College Hornets. Finally, it started to click, and now maybe this will be the attitude of the team. Hey, first we run to set up the pass. We'll see if that's what they do in the future.
Let's hope so. Vakapuna, 19 carries, 130 yards, 1 touchdown. His long was that 25-yarder. Jared Peters bounced back from the fumble, 7 carries, 65 yards with 2 scores. And Justin Honore, 12 carries for 47 yards. So it's a good output for the Hornets tonight.
Yeah, when you look at them, 250 yards between the 3 of them on the ground. And if you have to go with the youngster, Corey, and you can do that, now it's going to give him a chance. Little pooch kick that they had before. And this is where, if you're somebody on your receiving team, you can throw up the hand and call for a fair catch. Nobody can hit you. And that's what you would see a majority of times on that pooch kick. Remember, it's a live football. And that's why when they did it the first time around, the Hornets got the ball because nobody from the Husky team attacked getting the ball. So that's why the Hornets do it again. This time the Huskies come away with it.
Yeah, and the Hornets has held the Huskies 55 yards on the ground, 17 yards in the air.
Wow. So Sebastian Lopez comes back out at quarterback with 7:24 to go here in the fourth quarter. It's the Hornets 37, the Huskies 3 on Sportsnet, USA.net. Lopez turns corner, slides short of the 30. No flag on the play. There wasn't any intent to hit the quarterback when he started to slide. He was basically caught by the defender.
Braden Weddle was the defender, number 51 for the Hornets. Razan Parker back at linebacker. He's wearing number 10 on the near side, 57 in white. Mario Vasquez Roca And please correct us if we're saying that wrong.
And realize, being a Husky fan, you've got to realize, you look at what the Hornets have done. They bounced back from a loss. Again, with the Huskies trying to find that quarterback that can make the play for you. Corey, that's what they're doing now. It could be this young man they've got out there right now that can make that play. We know the Huskies have talent at the quarterback position. Dante Bell can throw the football. Dante Bell can run. Just did not do it tonight.
And Brandon and Lopez has been the guy who's moved the change as much as they can and looked the best in this ball game. And the Hornets, Des Palomalo on the near side, Caleb Smith and Caleb Hadley, Paul Boyce join them on the front line.
So it's a 3rd down and 10 for the Huskies. Trying to find something going in the air. All of a sudden, going to go out, going across the middle of the field, just short of a receiver. If you get that on the money, he's got the corner and the speed, and it's a touchdown, Huskies, down the field.
And we've seen 2 plays on that side of the field, Mark, one by Fullerton and now one by Elac. If you just put the ball on the money, you get some money and you get 6.
And like you said too, Corey, you don't have to be perfect. If you throw it short, they stop, catch it, you've got a 1st down.
But you got to throw it.
You got to throw it. So it's 4th down. The Hornets, again, could end up with good field position with 5:48 to go here in the 4th quarter. High snap, almost blocked. It is blocked. And special teams, Corey Neyland, that's another moment. Special teams made a special play. Look at Corey Neyland giving me the look right now. Come on, Corey. Give a little love.
I'll give you love on the pooch kick.
Okay.
Des
all right.
Palomalo blocks that kick right there. And again, he's still hustling with 5:39 to play. This game in this 4th quarter has been, and there's another injured player, and this time for East LA. This game is slowed down in the 4th quarter. The momentum in the air has been sucked out a little bit for both teams. And there's a little bit of, not going to say laziness, just a little bit of nonchalantness.
Okay.
Going in the 4th quarter. And that's what happened, it looked like, on that punt. And the only person running was Dez.
Yeah. Well, and you played enough sports. Everybody who's up here who's connected with sports can tell you that emotionally, when you feel like this was a team you felt you could beat, and I'm sure the Huskies walked in here and said, we got the Hornets where we want them. Boy, did they look bad last week. They're down in the dumps. Their quarterbacks are gone. We're ready to go. And things didn't work out with them. Eventually, Corey, you just sit there and go, it's not my night. I'm ready. They're like us. I'm ready to go home, on sports@usa.net.
Jared back.
Little step at the line of scrimmage. He's going to get a run of maybe 2 or 3. They blow the whistle. They make Jared Peters. It's okay.
Timothy Fleischhood runs out of the pack. He's been on a few tackles tonight. He's one of those guys that you thought could be an all-conference performer in the Central.
5:15 to go here in the 4th quarter. 2nd and 7. So the Hornets can get a 1st down here.
Jonathan Bernal was also in on the stop, number 98 for the Huskies.
You can let the clock run, go as far as you can, down to 25 seconds. I'm going to watch that play clock if I'm Peters. Peters says, no, I'll take the middle. Cut to the outside, scramble, stay on my feet, touchdown for Peters. So he dances his way for a couple. And Peters now is in.
80 yards on the ground.
Four. 4:40 to go. 43-3. Kick us up. I'm with Corey Neyland. There should have been a flag. A player comes running off the bench for the Hornets. He's running towards the line of scrimmage before the hike. That is illegal procedure. But Corey, I'm with you. That's a penalty. It's illegal procedure. He's running towards. You can't do that on that play.
Well, now it is official. Even the officials are saying, you know what? It's time to go.
Brian Crooks just walked out and said, hey, we're taking the metro over to the train station and take the train back.
But seriously,
That's a flag.
he's running onto the field.
Exactly.
Ball is snapped.
Exactly.
In the air.
In the air. Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's not like he wasn't noticed.
I mean, I'm waiting for the flag. I was waiting for him to stop it, and I'm going, they're all saying, everybody looked at each other and go, you could see them going, no, don't turn the light.
You know what that was? Street football.
That's it.
Mom said, okay, you're done.
That's it. I blew the dinner. Hey, I told you, it's dinner time. Get one more play.
And she
Corey,
said,
get out there. Get
Elvis
out
played
there.
the mom, don't make me come out there.
I'm done. 4:40 to go. It's the Hornets 44. The Huskies 3 here on Sportsnet. Pooch kick down the side of the field. Up in the air. Do Hornets come away with it? They do again.
Okay, now here's where you're going to need to just 4:31 to play. Let's down the ball 3 times. Let's down the ball 4 times. Let's get out of here and move on. It's 44-3, and now you've won the game. Now let's sit on the ball.
Yeah, game's over. I mean, and we mean that with respect for the Huskies who have played hard all night. They've tried their best. They're looking for a quarterback. They thought they had a quarterback. They've changed a few times. Their running game was good. Their passing attack hasn't been what it was. And the Hornets just got on a roll. And when that happens, you can't stop people. I'm with you too, Corey. You don't need to pad anybody's stats.
No.
Here.
Run rule.
Yeah,
Bring
exactly.
it to some. I mean,
You don't throw the football. When
And-
somebody hits you, you go
and
down.
And there are those you're going to say, well, what about the competition and integrity of the game?
Jared Peters.
That's why.
Touchdown, Hornets. So Peters puts up 21. Flag on the play. This one's coming back.
That would have put him over 100 yards rushing. But with that flag there and 4:21 to play,
Yeah,
Neil.
I'm like you too, Corey. I mean, we love our Hornets. We are Hornet fans. Everybody knows that. When they don't play well, we tell people. And when it gets to this point of a game, there's that thing where you say, okay, guys, we've heard it before. We've been players where you've heard a coach walk up and say, Corey, go out there, take 3 knees. Let's get out of here. This game is over. And why get anybody hurt? That can happen on a fluke play, Corey. Peters goes through the hole. Somebody cuts him perfectly. First down. Flag on the play. Corey's gonna send a note down to the officials in a second. Guys. You know what? You know why this is happening, don't you? It's Ryan Osborne is causing this. Here on SportsNetUSA.net. He wants to go for pancakes after the game. He wants to make sure it's late enough so we can go to IHOP or something.
No, something more than pancakes. We've already discussed this at halftime, Mark.
Oh, thanks. Peters bobbles it, drops it, it goes down. Loss on the play.
And Fleischman, who's had a good game in the backfield. The starters are still in there. Roberto Ceballos in the backfield. He's had a solid game. They both have got about 7 tackles tonight. Ceballos has 2 tackles for loss. 2.5 tackles with that one there for loss. again, you like the talent on East LA. They're just going to need to put it together as this season goes along.
Yeah, I mean, I like East LA. I like their running attack that they've got. I think their wide receivers have been good. Their defense has been put in difficult positions tonight, but they've got some gunners out there that could go get people. So you've got to like this team a great deal. You got to say, hey, I really, really like them. Big third down. Keep the clock running. We're at 3-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. It's the Hornets 44. ELAC 3 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. .244 to go here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Hornets working that play clock all the way down to 7, 6, 5. Here they come. After him. They come up. They sell out. He needs a block. He's going to turn the corner. Gets knocked out of bounds at the 45. There's a wrestling match going on over there. And the officials have got to get in. And, Corey, this is the point, too, that you have to
See?
Yeah, you have to say to players, enough is enough. You know, this is where there's 2:21 to go. Call me a bad official. I call the game.
No, here's the thing. And we've been a part of broadcasts where the game has been called. Okay, it's not like you have to finish it out. 2:21. There's no comeback here.
No. And they're calling it on East LA.
Well, they call it on East LA because it was DeLon Story who tackled him out of bounds, rolled him over a couple times, and laid on him on his side.
So let's wait for the call by the white hat. I would call the game.
And if you're Fullerton, if it is on East LA and stays on East LA, kneel down. 2:21 left. Kneel down. No timeouts will be called. Use all of the play clock, and you kneel down. Game over. You go to each side. There will be no handshake line at the 50 tonight.
No, and if they allow that, then you've got to look at somebody and say, okay. So they're marching that off against ELAC. It'll be an automatic first down at the 40 with 2:21 to go. Ed Ford, Corey Neyland, and the old guy all agree this is when you call the game and say, hey, let's be realistic. It's 44-3. Mark may believe in miracles, but that's not going to happen. The game is over. Shake hands with each other, and let's go home. And Ed, and I know Corey both will tell you, at this stage of the game, this game's over. You go that way, you go that way, and realize Ed's been around. Ed, this is the type of game that if a fight breaks out, you could kiss your postseason goodbye.
Speaking of Victor Valley College.
Victor Valley, the famous that they knew that the players were going to fight against them, and the coach let them go out there anyway at the end.
Yeah, and that happened. Corey, we all remember when that happened. We all watched the footage on it, and it was like one of those things where you go, you know, I was just about to say, wait a minute, what happened? What? They just called the game?
I didn't like that rule when it was implemented this year. And now I definitely don't like that rule.
I don't, you know.
And I don't understand it at all.
I don't either. I mean, you know, why do you have to be uniform? Because?
Mark, that's a Friday Night Mike show. Money, money, money.
Where the money? Wait a minute.
Advertising, advertising, advertising.
Oh, we got big advertisers, so I got to do a read or something now?
No, well, since the college and the have implemented the rule changes for the
wait a minute. I'm looking for the money, man.
Where it trickles down. Supposedly, those rules trickle down. That's why they did it. So because, let's get
Yeah. And this is the thing. Again, these are student athletes. So let's be concerned about the student athletes out there. And guys, let's just be realistic too. For all the coaching staffs and everything else, for all the good you do now, wave at each other on the sideline, said, hey, great game, see ya, good luck next week, and move on. Here on sportsnetusa.net. The Hornets, 44, ELAC 3, here on sportsnetusa.net. 2 minutes to go on Sportsnet. Knee taken by the Hornets, so the clock will run. So they should take 3 knees. Corey, you can even take 4 if you want to.
Yes.
Run around a little backwards on the 4th one?
Nope. You just take a knee.
Okay.
And here's what you do. If ELAC runs a play,
Let him score.
yes.
Let him score. So you're going to run that all the way down to 2 and then take a knee. If I'm the official, I'm not going to throw delay a game unless they try to take an extra 5 seconds. Take a knee. It's at 116.
And 1 more should do it. And if not, there's 2 more. And that's when you're going to have to take 3 steps back to run out the clock.
Before we go, let's thank everybody here at ELAC. I tell you what, some of the nicest people you will want to know, the administration, Sherwin, who came up, couldn't have been nicer to. You guys look at me, then you, if I got it wrong, help me out here. Sherwin, thank you very much, Corey Neyland. Couldn't have been the nicest guy in the world. Made sure we had everything right that we wanted. We did something a little different tonight. Ed Ford, he was kind enough to accommodate us. To all the coaches, to all the players, as we come down with 26 seconds to go, your Hornets are going to win 40-43. So for Corey Neyland, Ed Ford, Albert Robles, and our little friend sitting over there, Ryan Osborne, all of us want to thank you for being with us tonight as Fullerton comes away to win this game 44-3 here on Sportsnet USA.net.